Well, hello, everybody. My name is Kismet. They sometimes call me Overseer Kismet. Sometimes they call me the Wasteland Tycoon. We have lots of fun up in this stream. Sorry for the delay. Man, if I had one of those days. One of those days where a whole lot of stuff just kind of leads up to that particular day. I had to do my taxes today, so I've been working incredibly hard on that. I probably spent about 9 hours getting it all ready. Yesterday night, on my night off, working on it just so incredibly hard. I had to get it all ready, and I got to send the guy the file, and then I have to explain to him what I've been doing all year long and all of that. Very, very difficult to tell an accountant who doesn't game basically what I do for a living. And he's like, "You just take all the money and then you just give it back to the people?" And I go, "Yep." That's basically what I do. If you subscribe, if you donate, whatever it is, I just take that and just give it right back to the peeps in the stream. I do it in giveaways. I help out my mods. I get them at TwitchCon, all that kind of stuff. So I don't really make any money. But building up the stream, doing what I love to do, sending that, of course, Kismet love out to all of you guys. Now, if you guys can see it, hear me, put a 1 in the chat so I'm not roboting or nothing crazy like that here in the chat. I was hoping to get to something new today, but I didn't get to it. On top of that, a little bit of a somber note. Again, some of you know that previously that on my wife's side, we had 2 people pass away on the same day. My wife's grandfather and then also one of her cousins. So we had to go to the services for her cousin today. Very emotional. Highs and lows today. So ups and downs and, you know, taxes and going to funeral services. So that was basically my day today. So I was very exhausted because I was up all night working on taxes, and then it was during the time in which I normally sleep. So we had to go do that, and then I deal with the kids and all that other stuff. Before you know it, time's gone by, and you haven't gotten any sleep. So then I just said, you know what, I'm just going to get a little extra sleep so I'm not sitting here going the whole time. And I'm feeling pretty good now. Now I'm up and ready to play some games. I don't know about you guys. Let's go ahead and sit up a little bit. Here we go. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Let's see. Scorch Dragon, Chewy, H2O, and Raz all bringing in that love. I say we give each of those people, give each of them 1,000 Kids Cats for participating here in the stream, backing me up. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So, of course, Scorch Dragon has to give it to Chewy, and then Chewy has to give it to Scorch Dragon because they can't give themselves caps. And then one of you two dish it out to H2O as well as Raz, which I find very, very fun. So we're going to play against some 76. Now, we're just going to play a little bit of 76 here since I'm running so far behind today. We're going to go ahead and just do our cash run, and then we're going to get into some Astroneer. Very excited to get into Astroneer. We are on a new planet, so we're going to check out what we can do. And I had some thoughts about this particular base, what we're going to do on it, and go from there. So, I mean, I'm ready to play. I don't know about you guys. But let me say hello to all my epic peeps in the chat. Speaking of Chewy and Scorch Dragon in the chat. My awesome mods. So tonight we got again Chewy and Scorch Dragon back me up here at the top of the stream. Later, the boss man himself, Game Killer, coming in doing some heavy lifting later on, backing me up again. I mean, I just so appreciate. You got to appreciate the people around you. Now, of course, you know when you go to some funeral services, and I'm a little heavy subject for today. You really do appreciate the people around you, the people who come and say, "Kismet, you know what? I got you back, bro." I don't think I say it enough, even though I do say it a lot. You know, your mods are your heroes behind the stream, and of course you guys being here hanging out in my stream as well. And before I get too emotional, just gonna say I really appreciate you. You made a difference in my life. There we go. Look, I can't even get through the sentence. And I appreciate you all. So thanks for being here tonight. Thank you. And let's say hello to everybody in the chat as well. Let's see who we got. We got Raz coming in. Always great to see you, Raz. Appreciate you being here. H2O, of course. We said hello earlier with the Kismet wave. I really like what Young Con did for the little Norbert heart. It's one of my favorite emotes now. So fantastic. Absolutely love it. What else? Who else we got coming in? There's got to be somebody. Oh, Pokey, TwitchCon. Contact me via Discord. Got some cool stuff. Trying to line up for TwitchCon, right? Trying to help my streamer pals get to TwitchCon. So I've been working with my mods. My mods, of course, are epic. And we're working together to do something. Not only, like last year we had a party, whatnot, and I got 50% off for everybody, as well as I giving out 1,000 free desserts and whatnot. I'm always working those deals with sponsors and whatnot, to hook you guys up with epic stuff. You know, I'm going to give away literally hundreds of games here in the stream. I try to hook you guys up with real life gear and all that kind of stuff. Working very, very hard on that still, too. Oh, man. Wait till you see this video on doing those loot drops. You guys are going to be absolutely stunned how much time and cost has gone into those now. Just an insane amount. But you guys are worth it. You guys are worth it. I will never give up. I never give up. And that's why I got that purple check mark right up there. Because I never gave up, even though I turned down hundreds of times by Twitch when I tried to become a partner streamer. They're like, nope, sorry, can't do it. Nope, sorry, nope, sorry. So basically trying to help my streamer pals afford TwitchCon. Last time I spent a lot of cash going to TwitchCon, and I could have, instead of having just my 5 mods, I could have literally had 50 people staying at TwitchCon for about the same amount, right? If you stay at a fancy hotel, you're going to pay, you know, $800 to $1,000 for just one person usually, unless you're splitting the bill. Then, of course, you know, it's $500 per person. But if you got 15 people, imagine how much you'd be splitting that bill down to, right? You'd be splitting down to just a little bit. So I'm going to see how much it is, and then, of course, invite my streamer pals. So if you're interested in going as somebody that I know, let me know on Discord if I forgot to message you. I messaged it to all my friends and invited them to save them some cash. But we're going to try to get that going. Again, another way of me just, you know, now, you know, it's kind of weird, though, inviting people, hey, you know, I'm getting a house. You want to stay in the house, you know, that kind of thing, you know, especially, you know, female streamers.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Thanks so much for that, love. Anonymous. There's an anonymous tip for $50. What the heck? What? That was awesome timing, by the way. Incredibly great timing, Mr. Anonymous. Whoever did that, feel free to let me know in the chat if you accidentally did that by mistake. And made it anonymous when you wanted to show that love. Again, thank you so much. We're going to replay that here in just a second. So, man, that timing, though. That timing was good. That's funny. So it's a little awkward reaching out to people like that. But, you know, I come from a place of kindness. I come from a place of, you know, how can I help other people? Because I have a unique position, right? I have a unique position of the fact that I am really great at working with people and saying, hey, look, you know, can you do us a deal? Can you give us a discount? Can you hook my peeps up? That kind of thing. And you know what? Most of the time, just asking, right? Like I got 1,000 candy bars. Three are going to be third year this time, but already 2 years in a row. That's 2,000 candy bars that I gave out, Kismet candy bars, just by asking. I just asked them, say, hey, could you send me 1,000 Kismet candy bars? I'm going to give them out at TwitchCon. All right. See, that's it. If you want something, you got to just go for it. You know, maybe you want to, you know, go out with that special person. Maybe you want to get that special job. Maybe you're trying to work towards something. It's not going to happen if you don't at least try, right? At least go out there and put yourself out there a little bit. And you'd be surprised how many times it works out. Now, of course, you're going to fail, too. You're going to have a lot of times where people are going to go, nah, sorry. You're just not fancy enough for a partnership or fancy for whatever. But I go around and I ask and just, you know, hey, you know, I'm just trying to facilitate you guys having fun on top of me having fun. I'm having fun streaming. I just have fun streaming. That's what I love to do. It gets me out of the bed every day. And, of course, hanging out with epic people does it as well. Shamrock's coming in. Thank you for the betties, Pokies. I don't know who did that donation, but thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's get into some gaming. Let's go. All right, it's time to get into it. Look at my awesome character right here. Look at him. He's looking epic. There was a real cool yellow glow just a minute ago. I was hoping to catch it. Of course, it went away the second I switched. So we're going to go ahead and get our agua going on. Let's have a little salute. Very thirsty from an emotional day. All right, let's get into it, everybody. Let's just put our feet on the ground and get going. Make sure our sound's working. It is. And I actually had to log in about 8 times. And you're like, well, Kismet, why'd you have to log in so many times? Because people are parking themselves right where my base is. Which is okay. That's fine by me. I can just keep saying, hey, you know, keep going until you find one that I can actually have my base on. So what we're going to do here to start... Sorry, I did so fast I didn't even say anything. We're going to go ahead and put green thumb on. And, of course, we're going to go around and make that money, right? Make that money. You're like, well, Kismet, you're not making any money. You're just picking up fruit, right? You're just, like, picking flowers. Well, this is how I make adhesive. So I'm going to go through. Wow, look at that. Those are all... That's all That's all ripe right now. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. I think that's the best run ever right there. Now, every one that I pick, I actually get an extra one with that particular perk. And that's one of my favorite parts of Fallout 76 is the perk system. If you play just for the perk system alone, I strongly recommend it. Of course, there's lots of storyline and other stuff to do like that. But today, we're just going to do some quick little running around, getting that cash, getting all of that. Look at that. Just a nice little line of stuff that we can pick up there. And, of course, we're going to go ahead and pick up that purified water. Holy moly, look at that. Look at that, everybody. All of them got 5 purified water. Nice, nice, nice. Look at that. Holy mackerel, home run. Holy moly. How much was that? That was a lot. That was a whole lot of purified water right there. That's making the serious cash. Right there. Those purified waters, each and every one. That was 38 purified water right there. Wow. Each one of those, of course, is worth quite a bit of cash. So we'll work on that in a bit, but we're still overburdened right now. I'm just going to go ahead and transfer some of this stuff that we do want to keep. Look at that, 60 mute fruit. Holy moly. We must have had some from before. I don't think that was 60, but it could have been. And of course, our potatoes, 36 potatoes. Holy moly. Now, again, we've been building momentum because we've been basically logging in every single time. The funny thing is I'm real thirsty over there, too. We've been logging in every single time, and we're being very diligent when we log in, right? We're collecting our water, collecting our mute fruit, collecting our potatoes. Now, my particular location here, very smartly, is over the top of this building, which, of course, acts as a kind of free defense for the bottom of my base. So it's a lot harder for them to shoot out the underside of my base. Also, it's in a lower level area, so that does help a lot. You can see right here, I've got this particular power running right out the window here. And I've got these shutters I can open up, of course, and shoot stuff, but I've also got rockets to defend it. I've got a nice bunch of crafting area in here, and I've got it kind of half covered over here. Now, I can cover the other side, but again, you have a very limited amount of stuff. See my budget over there? I have a very limited amount of budget that I can actually do. So I could, if I so chose, I could go in and I could do this. Now, personally, I would rather do more potatoes and more mute fruit than to cover up the rest of that because I'm not really hanging out on that side all too often. So we're going to go ahead and try to offload some of our stuff. Now, you can see we're already at 660 of 800. They did increase the amount. So who can shoot your building down? Anybody can. Anybody can. You can come in and you can just blast other people's base in the game. A little PvP action. Now, I'm not a big fan of that. I think they should have done away with the PvP. I think that they should have spent that time making a separate mode like they're doing now, which is kind of like a PvP mode. And this way you got the default PvE, where you're running around, you're doing questing, you're hanging out with your friends, you're having a great time. And then, of course, you can switch over to a PvP mode. Now, it rarely ever happens. I've actually had it happen to me before where someone come along, they're wanted, they blasted my base, and then I literally, all I had to do was walk right over to this thing, and then right here, see, space, repair all structures. Okay, everything's fixed. That's all you got to do. It doesn't really cost you that much cash or that much materials to fix your base. So if it does get destroyed, don't worry about it. And if you have somebody bothering you, you just go in here into your map. You can go into your social section right here. You can right-click right up here. You can say Leave World, and it will rotate you out of that world into a different world. Very, very easy to get out of PvP. I'm in what's known as passive mode. So if you go into passive mode right over here under Settings, you go into Game, and you'll see right here passive mode. Now, the pacifist mode basically means that if I shoot somebody, it's not going to activate PvP. In just case I accidentally shoot them or accidentally hit their base or whatever. They have done a great job of making it, if you don't want to be part of it, there's really no great penalty. If you don't want to be part of that constant PvP action. You're not forced to do it, which is really, really nice. That they did take a long time to get that figured out, where you're not forced into PvP if you don't choose to do so. Now, I don't see anybody who's wanted on my map, and one of the ways you can always tell the robustness of a game. Now, you can only have 24 people per server, the robustness of a game if there's people still playing it. And one of the things I typically do, just kind of subconsciously and sometimes consciously, is see how many people are on my map right now. You can see I've got a whole bunch of random people that I don't really know who are on the same map. It tells you that people are playing the game and running around, having some fun. A whole bunch of people over here having some fun running around. We got people up here in the water park doing some basic questing. I'm down here typically where I'm hanging out right by this vendor here by my camp. And of course, if I do have friends that want to come and join me on the server, they can, I can friend them and they can just jump to me whatever server I'm on, or I can jump to them and then we can group up and go and get into trouble. And again, I appreciate everybody coming in. Let me go ahead and replay some of that love from earlier here. We got Chewy coming in. Look at that. Holy mackerel. 21 months. Button here again. Why not push it again? Go for it, Chewy. Also, we got Raz coming in with the host, earning those extra Kiz caps. And of course, you go /host Kismet in your channel by going there in that upper right-hand corner, sliding on down, going to my channel, opening up in a new tab, and go /host Kismet. You're going to get yourself some Kiz caps. And you're like, what are Kiz caps? Well, Kiz caps are my monetary reward here in the stream that you can use to buy tickets to win epic stuff, right? So you can win epic loot right here in the stream. So best to follow those chat rules right down there because if you do get banned, you can't win epic loot. I literally give away thousands of dollars worth of epic loot, both real life loot and also games and all sorts of epic stuff here on the stream, and even more epic stuff coming the rest of this year. Working very, very hard on that. That's why I blew out my eye. By the way, look at my eye, everybody. Looking much better. It was all red. Both my eyes were really red. Still a little bit of redness in here. I do have an eye appointment today for those who are concerned. Well, Wednesday, depending on what time zone you're in. So I do have an eye appointment today for them to double check and make sure I didn't like blow out my eye or something like that where it no longer functions. So again, thanks so much to Raz for the host, and also looks like KBN GLJ. I don't know what that means, but thank you so much for dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Wasteland Tycoons. Welcome, welcome. And of course, that epic $50 tip. Incredibly great show, by the way, The Office. He is incredibly funny as well. I love that part in Bruce Almighty where, he's like putting the teleprompter, and he's like, I do the cha-cha, right? He goes, I do the cha-cha. And that's the first thing I think of whenever I see him, is that thing in Bruce Almighty. I think it's incredibly funny. Now, of course, thanks again. I pressed it again. Thanks again for that awesome donation. That is going to pay off TwitchCon from last year. Still trying to pay that off. Incurring that interest. But we know it's such the way it goes. And of course, Pokey coming in with that bitty love. Look at that, filling it up with some shamrocks. Now, of course, I might have missed him if he's still in the chat. Everybody, do me a favor. Let's go ahead and give Pokey a shout out. Incredibly great friend of the stream. Been part of my stream for a really long time. If you're still in the stream, Pokey, do an exclamation point followage in the chat if you're still there. Let's see how long you've been following my channel. A very, very long time. And all around great guy. I hoping you do okay on that doctor's appointment as well, man. I hope everything works out for you. I know very, very well about medical issues and about being on the brink. For those who don't know, many moons ago now, 4 years ago, I did get disabled. I had basically sleep apnea and vertigo, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything, which is a really scary thing. It's a really scary thing to not be able to go up and down stairs and not to be able to drive your car or run or walk anywhere without kind of feeling like an old man, like you're going to fall down at any time. And I've fallen down many times, and I've been injured many times from that particular illness, and I had to give up my epic job at Apple, which was a huge bummer because I worked my entire career to get that epic job where I work from home. I work for the top company in the world. I work with amazing people. Incredibly, incredibly awesome. So I'm not trying to tell that to get sympathy. I'm just trying to inspire you guys. If you do have medical issues, go out there. Make sure to treat them. Remember, doctors, though, are like car mechanics. There's a couple good ones out there and a lot of bad ones. So make sure if you don't believe your doctor, don't just take it for face value. Go to another doctor. Have another referral. Get somebody who you think is actually on your side and not just trying to take all your money, which some of mine did. I did see 11 different doctors, and of course I had CPAP, and I have what's known as a mandible device that helps me breathe so that when I'm sleeping, I don't die. So every night when I go to sleep, I may not wake up tomorrow, so it puts me in a real perspective to just do what I love to do every day. And I like to come in every single night and just kind of inspire you guys to do what you love as well. Go out there, give you a little positivity in your day. Because you got enough people trying to drag you down all the time, right? You got enough people trying to drag you down. You need somebody in your corner. You need somebody to bring you up in your day. And I'm that person. And of course, all the people in the chat would love to say hi to you as well. So feel free to say hello in the chat. Look at that slick Ford. Holy mackerel. 2 years, 8 months, and 13 days, and 23 hours. And Chewy just inching him out. Wow, right about the same time. Right, look at that. Just by a few days, like about 13 days there. Chewy like a boss man is man. Game killer coming in 2 years, 7 months. Now, see, that kind of stuff gets me emotional, right? That gets me emotional. When I see people like that, look at that. Scorched Dragon as well. Coming in with a 2 months and 10 days. That's okay. Whether you've been here, you're the baby Scorched Dragon. Well, that's okay. I mean, whether you're a new friend, a new Wasteland Tycoon, or someone who's been there for years, that kind of loyalty, that kind of love, really gets to me. And if I talk about it too much, I'm gonna get all emotional. Occultist coming in as well. Checking that followers for 2 years and 6 months. Wow. Okay, let's get back to playing some games here. I do get sidetracked sometimes. I do talk a little IRL, kind of mix it in with my gameplay as well. Holy mackerel, 103 purified water. The Wasteland Tycoon is back at it again, everybody. I'm back at it again, making that money. Making those dollar bills. All right, let's go ahead and, because I don't like running slow. So we're going to use a little bit of that purified water hiding somewhere. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. You know what I miss about Fallout 4? You know that mod I added where the makes the Pip-Boy really big? I kind of miss that. I miss that mod. I did a mod run on my very last run, Fallout 4, before Fallout 76 came out. And we did a melee run with mods the very first time. Not my mods like in the mods, but mods like in the game. I made it bigger, and then also it was in color, which is really cool. And then also it organized your stuff better and put it in different groups, like all your drinks together and food together. I really like those mods. Really, really nice. Nothing that gives me an advantage, only stuff that actually allows me to kind of increase the interface. There's a lot of great mods out there, a lot of great modders who do an amazing job. All right, we're just going to go ahead and just eat stuff randomly here because we can. Because we can. All right. And I'm just looking for what I can put away in my stash here. Holy moly, look at all that stuff on us there. Oh, that's where all that weight went. Right there, look at that. We still got all those weapons and whatnot. Apparently, I did not remove all that stuff from last time. So let's start with that. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of this grenade launcher, even though that's pretty fun. Can't use that assault rifle. Ain't doing me no good, just sticking it in my inventory. Let's get rid of all of this loot here. I'm just going to go ahead and scrap this. I'm going to try not to... See, what happens is, you know, you're just scrapping away, scrap, and then you accidentally hit your power armor chassis. Now, one of the things that I wish they would add to any Fallout, I don't care which one it is at this point, is the ability to lock your stuff, right? It's just an option click or alt click or control click, or I don't care, I can elbow click if I got to on the keyboard, elbow click, you know, enter, I don't know, to lock your stuff so you don't accidentally scrap or transfer stuff into your inventory or from your inventory into your bank or scrap stuff accidentally. That's something that I would love to see added to Fallout 76 here. But of course, they're still working. Oh, look at that. Wait a minute. We got a sturdy combat armor right leg. We'll have to take a look at that one. That one we'll keep. Now, other stuff that I can't really use, I'm going to go ahead and just literally just scrap it for the resources. I could also sell it to the vendor, but right now I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of most of that stuff just so I can get those general resources from those. And I also might get a mod or something like that. Oh, Rush coming in, showing that love. Thank you so much for that. It's a level 2 sub love. Thanks for the awesome stream. Well, thank you, Rush. Thank you. I worked very hard to be here today. I did get a little bit of extra rest today, just so I could be 100% here in the stream. My eyes are doing better. I got my taxes done. Went through some serious emotional, real life stuff today with my wife and children and extended family. Really, really tough stuff. You know, when people pass, very, very tough. On you emotionally usually, but you know, I try to be there for the wife and family as best I can. Even though I'm not really myself that I once was way back in the day. I just have to come to terms with that. I am no longer that person I was in my 20s, right? Where I could remember things like this, and I could, I was in incredible, great shape, and I made lots of money, and I could go and do anything and everything that I wanted. I am no longer that person anymore. I'm a bit of an older version of myself, though you still feel the same as you do, right? Here's a little magic thing about getting older, is you still feel the exact same way you feel right now. You feel the same way. I'm still the same me, pretty much, that I was when I was 25, or 20 or whatever. I still feel the same way. You just have a lot more hurdles as you get older, especially when it comes to being, with medical issues and things like that. Some of you know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. All right, wood and ski. Let's scrap the heck out of that. Bye-bye. Bye-bam. Oh, my stash is full. Oh, we're not scrapping it. We're transferring it. Hold on. Now, some things where you can make stuff out of it, right? Where you can make, say, mollies out of the bottles, or you can make like a ski sword. It doesn't automatically scrap that stuff, which actually is a smart thing. But you can go in and say, you know what, I do want to scrap all this. Look, we'll get 48 wood out of that. We'll go ahead and scrap that. Awesome. That's less stuff that we have to pick up. And then we hit T to drop that in there. Now, what else we got? Let's see. We got cryo mines, things like that. And again, we're maxing out our inventory here. I may have to just go ahead and sell some of this stuff up front. So let's see. Sturdy armor right leg. Do we got anything better than that? We got a right leg here. Mutant right leg. We got a 5 and 11. Now, I'm really bad about, fixing up my armor. I typically will just like, oh, I see something interesting like combat armor. I'll be like, okay, well, I'll fix it up. But normally I'm not seeking stuff out to do it, right? Plus 10% damage, energy just if you are mutated. Well, I'm probably not going to be mutated, so this is probably the better one. Let's do a little bit of crafting here. Let's go over here and craft some items. I love the crafting system. I love to craft stuff. So let's go in. Let's see what we can go ahead and do to this armor here. Oh, look at this. Reinforced. So we can go to a 15-15. Both of these are 15-15. This is stealth in dark areas, and this is improves damage and energy resist. We're definitely going to go with that one, because then we'll have it all the time, right? Not just when a certain situation happens. We'll have that particular improves damage and energy resist all the time right there. Now, the interesting thing is these are actually both the same if you think about it in the long run, right? This is going to be 15-15. And this is going to be 15-15, but with the increased stealth in the dark areas. So actually, the better one is actually the stealth one, because it's going to give us basically the same thing, right? And we don't, and it gives a little bit more condition on this one. But this is the one you want, because you're still going to get 15-15, but you're going to also get the stealth. So let's go with that one. No miscellaneous mods on this one yet, and no paint mods on it yet. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and swap out there. There we go. Lots of hype. Rush FM coming in, getting that love in the chat. I find hurdles harder to get over as I get older, mostly due to my knees. I'm thinking the same thing, rotisserie. Man, I had such little sleep today that I was literally just like walking around like an old man. Because I get really, really dizzy still. I have sleep apnea and vertigo that never goes away. It'll never go away ever in my whole entire life. I've seen lots of doctors about it. I have gone to physical therapy to learn to live with it, but it never goes away. So sometimes, like I was taking my kids out on a bike ride today, so they were riding around the track, and I was standing up in the bleachers, like a little metal bleachers that you can stand on. And every time they'd go by, I'd be like, go, 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 right? And I'm standing up in those bleachers, and all of a sudden the wind comes up. Real heavy wind comes up and just it gives me a little bit of a push like that, and I literally felt like I was going to fall down the bleachers. So I was grabbing the thing. I was like, because I can feel when it starts to rise like a wave of dizziness, and then I'll grab on the thing. I'll wait for it to kind of pass, and then go back down again. So always stay diligent with those medical issues. But I am much better than I was before. I have lost 40 pounds. I did go back to the gym. I stopped drinking soda. I started eating better food. And, of course, looking better, taking better care of myself. Because, as you get older, you start kind of focusing more on your family and less on yourself sometimes, which was my problem. I spent a lot of time mainly focusing on my kids and, helping them get a good start in life and all of that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and switch that over there. Now, this this right leg here, we can actually sell that to the vendor. You can't, by the way, you can't scrap legendary items, but you can sell them. So we'll sell that later. All right, what's this? Another left leg. How many left legs we got here? Let's see. We got a left leg here. We don't have that on. We don't even... Oh, right here. No, we got a wood left leg, which is a 4-2. We got a legendary. Grants 35% damage rate, higher health. And it's a 969. Why are we not using that? Why are we using this wood one here? I feel like that's a whole bunch of fail. More fail. Hey, we get a little bit of crafting in today. Always good to get a little crafting in as well. Let's see. So we got the trapper left leg. So we want to see what else we can do here. Welded, which is all we can do, and strengthen, which is all we can do. So that's cool. Now, Trapper actually is from Far Harbor, by the way, for those of you who haven't played Fallout 4 or don't remember after all this time. All that Trapper stuff is from the Far Harbor DLC for Fallout 4, one of my favorite games of all time. Of course, I played all the Fallouts. Fallout is my favorite series of all time. I played every Fallout from the very beginning. Probably seen it before, either before you guys were born or seen it before you, because I luckily enough to work for a company that actually their client was Interplay, which is pretty cool. I mean that's the great combination, right? If you have a whole bunch of things that you love to do in life, like I love doing graphic design, I really love computers, and I love games, right? So if you can take all those things and kind of put them in one basket and then get to do all of that in one day. So I got to do graphic design for like game boxes and the stuff that goes inside the game, the pamphlets and stuff you used to get back in the day that was basically like a collector's edition today, except for you got it for the standard price. Back in the day, you get the box and you get the floppy disks and you get all the cool stuff with it from the normal price. You don't have to pay the $200. You pay the normal stuff. Of course, we didn't have as cool as stuff as we got now, right? Like you got the cool power armor helmet, which I got this time. That is pretty epic. Pretty epic stuff that you can get. Scrap the armor. All right. So this is just a wood left leg. So we're just going to scrap that. And then once again, how are we looking on our thing? We're getting up there a little bit. We're at 91. We definitely need some work there. And we need a better hat. Our hat literally is giving us no armor whatsoever. 0 armor. So we'll do a little bit of that just to get that weight off of us there. And again, look at that, 792. No matter how much they increase that, storage, that's just how it's going to be. It's just going to always be full. That like tripped me out. That's Backwoodsman number 8, as opposed to 8 of those. I was like, wow, how did I get 8 of those magazines? All right, we're going to try to move as much. There we go. Stash is full. Nothing else we can do. 119 is what we're going to have to go with today. Now, what I've been doing is I'm doing the Kismet cash run. Now, if you want to make lots and lots of endless cash here in the game, I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Totally legit. No cheating. No shortcutting. You don't need to do all that. You can do it legit. Like I like to do, and I call it the Wasteland Tycoon run, where you do very heavy charisma, so you're getting that higher trade rate. You can, of course, go into strength, so you can carry more, right? And, of course, intelligence, so it helps you build up your base and generate stuff that you need. Now, I very often, you can see, rocking the Wasteland Tycoon hat and glasses, basically, I very rarely wear my power armor. I kind of run around and get all the stuff that I need. Now, I actually need some of this glowing fungus down here. So let's grab some of that for later on. There we go. Grab a little bit of that. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the amazing perk system here in Fallout 76 to give us a huge advantage. Again, I'm just going to go very, very quickly today. But we're going to use this perk system. Now, once I saw this perk system, I'm like, that's how it should have always been. It should have always been this card system. And I think it's pretty great. Hey, Jay, what's up? Jay, the Gamer Man in the chat, everybody. Everybody say hello. You guys are already saying hello in the chat. That's what I like. That's what I like about my community. I don't even need to say it. You guys already said it before I even got to it there. How you doing tonight, Jay, the Gamer Man? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you coming in and saying hi. I'm doing fantastic. I am having some fun playing some games tonight. A little bit of a rough day, kind of up and down, right? I finally got all my taxes done, turned that in, because who likes doing taxes? Not me. And of course, the more you do in your life, I find the more complex your taxes become, especially if you have your own business like I do. Of course, I'm a streamer, so I've got all this stuff I have to, prepare, and business taxes and all of that stuff. And then I got to go to my accountant, and he got to look it over, and we got to make sure it's all set up right and all of that stuff. I am very much, I don't like to screw around. Tax is one of those things I don't like to screw around, right? I just try to make it as plain as possible, try to keep it as simple as possible and say, look, this is what I'm doing. What do I need to do? How much do I need to pay? And then that's it, right? That's it. I don't screw around. I just like to keep it incredibly straightforward and minimal amount of massive effort that I have to take. But every single year, it turns into like a big thing. And the funny thing is, if you do have your own business, by the way, one of the funny things that I always think of is if you don't do anything with that business, if you start a business, and if you don't do anything with that business, you don't go and, say you want to make something and put it up on an Etsy shop, or say you want to go, because you got to collect sales tax if you're going to do that, by the way. And if you want to go and you want to, make something else or do repair or whatever you want to do in your career, especially if you have your own business, that you have to make sure that you are, covering those basic expenses. Like, if you just do nothing, it will cost you $1,000 a year just to have a business, to do absolutely nothing. Just to have a business with a business license and business name and all that stuff. Because you got to pay your state business taxes and all that stuff. You got to pay your annual fee to the county and whatnot, or wherever you are. And so on, and then all these, you got to have lawyers on, to back you up just in case, and all of that stuff. It just costs lots of money for really doing nothing, which I think is funny. It's like a basic cost that you gotta cover every single year, just to do that. And right about now is the pinch, right? Still trying to pay off that TwitchCon. I've already maxed out my credit card from TwitchCon last time, so just trying to eke by here at this year. And get things going. Man, I hope we pay that off before we start to raise funds before the next TwitchCon. We'll see. So if you are so inclined, if you've got $1 laying around that you would like to help the stream, I do appreciate it greatly. If you wish to donate toward paying off that TwitchCon and that Xbox, I appreciate it. But you don't have to. You can always just come in, relax, take it easy, chill out in the stream. I do appreciate all my lurkers. All right, we got a green thumb going on. And what we want to do is we want to walk around and basically pick up all this wild corn. So what it's going to do is going to give us double each and every one of these corn. So I just run around very, very quickly. And I like to be in third person. I also like to not be overburdened, so I can run along these lines here and get tons of corn. Now, the corn is going to serve a double purpose. Now, you're like, Kismet, why don't you just grow corn at your particular location? Well, I absolutely could do that. But the problem with growing it at my location is it can get destroyed. It can get destroyed by mobs running through there. It can destroy my corn and all of my other stuff at my camp. As well as players can come through and destroy it as well. This particular corn, they cannot destroy because it is actually part of the world. So if you find a nice location where you can get lots and lots of something, definitely want to kind of put that in your kind of daily run, which is what I'm doing right now. I call it the daily cash run, or the Kismet cash run. Where we just kind of run back and forth, grabbing a whole bunch of this corn. And you're like, well, okay, now how does that help you? Well, I can sell it to the vendor for just direct cash, right? Because each one of these corns that I pick up is worth 1 cap, right? So if I'm picking them up 2 at a time, I'm getting 2 caps every single plant that I'm running along. And you might notice there's a whole bunch of plants here running back and forth. But it also serves a second purpose, which is to make adhesive. So on top of the ability just to sell it to the vendor before it spoils, because it does spoil here in 76. If you play Fallout 4, by the way, your stuff does not spoil. They added that here as part of the survival aspect of it. There's somebody over there. So basically, I just run around and I grab this corn so I can make that adhesive. Now, the adhesive, to just buy the bulk adhesive from the vendor, is around 200 caps, roughly, 170 really. So basically, I'm making about 200 caps every single time I make my own 10 adhesive. So I don't know about you, but there's ways of, if you save money or you don't have to pay for something, is also making money. Not spending money on stuff is making money, right? Like a great example, when I send out those Kismet candy bars, or give out 1,000 candy bars each time I go to TwitchCon, and I get those donated from the company, and then I give them out to you guys. That's money earned, right? That's money earned. Is those Kismet candy bars that I get and then I give out to you guys. So I didn't have to spend money on getting it. So pretty great.
Safety protocols are advised.
Dude's doing a quest there. Dude's doing a quest. All right, let's get our shotty out. Get ready for some pew-pew. Look at that again. No power armor. Interesting. We've been here a bunch of times now. I don't know if it's just... Wow. That's some awesome missing there. I don't know if it's just us that triggers it not to show up, because that's pretty often that power armor is not there. Hearing a bunch of noise out there. Look, somebody's already come through here and cleared all this out too. Hey, I'm very proud of whoever that was who came through and who did that. So what we do is we come through. It's like a flamethrower or something. Every time I come through, I kind of check this for resources over here. I check it for the power armor. That's normally there. I get a little XP fighting with all the peeps along the way. Now, this house over here is really great for that XP. What the heck is he doing? While he maintains the field.
OZ armor applied successfully at location Test Farm 014, spray location Alpha.
Peekaboo! There's level 38, everybody. And you're like, Kismet, what the heck, bro? Why are you not level 497 by now? Because, you know, I'm super elite and I'm like super high level and I'm so sexy and all of that. I don't judge a game on levels. Now, of course, if you like to, you know, power level and all that, hey, more power to you. Go do your thing. Defends Farmabot. Now, I don't need to do nothing. I can literally just stand in here and get credit for this event. And again, I like to find a nice, consistent place to get the same loot each time. Like right now, I want to get lots and lots of plastic so I can make ammo and stuff like that. So I'll come into this particular location. I know there's a good amount of plastic. Oh, that stuff hasn't respawned. Oops, oopsie doopsie. I know there's a lot of particular plastic and shotgun shells and things like that right there that I can find, as well as other things that I can use as well. I'm going to unlock some stuff today. I kind of turned the sound down a little bit while that event is going on. One of the things in this game is there's kind of two things that happen that are a bit annoying. One is the dialogue for the holotapes is really, really slow. It's really slow. It like comes up and it's like, hey, everybody, I'm going to tell you a really exciting story. No. There's a bit of holotapes that do that, and you're like, oh gosh, come on, I'm playing a live game. Right? Because this is not a game where you're we disintegrated that sucker. Way to go. Just throw a little high. Hello. This can get annoying with those holotapes. And the same thing... Oh, I missed some corn there. The same thing can happen in the game where things can go fairly slowly, or the robots will just not stop talking. They'll just like blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I like some good storyline. I like to read the storyline and get into the storyline. Oh, no, I don't want I don't want to not get my reward. I want to get my reward over here for literally standing around doing nothing. Spraying those crops. Ah, I'm getting sprayed. Spray those crops. Making me some money. Man, the graphics in this game are awesome, though. I don't know if you guys can see it on your end, but man, versus Fallout 4, the actual graphics, like the graphics of my Fallout or my Vault suit here, it's just amazing looking. It looks awesome with really high-level textures. Incredibly awesome. Now, I actually play on 3 different platforms, both PC, Xbox, and PS4. I have a lot of fun. Cal coming in, checking that loot. We got Diamond Eye coming in. Look at those Kiss caps you guys got already. Holy mackerel, boss mode. Boss mode! Oops. Why am I targeting that guy? Why am I targeting that guy? See, one of the weird things, too, is that when I hit Q to target, it was targeting that guy and not...
S.p.e.c.i.a.l. Establishing upload to Arctos Pharma. Application of mixtures low Z Arno, HEN best, and Ag-E completed on test field 014 at designated spray locations. Ambient fauna demonstrates adverse response to all 3 mixtures, with no apparent variance in behavioral response. Crop yield increase noted of 0.003751 units of growth. AC.
Oh, look, there's a radiation thing in here. I think it's non-functional.
Pharmabot JD7E shutdown imminent. Recharge protocol initiated. Goodbye.
Well, apparently, there was a quest bot in here that I didn't even know. He's right there. But there's also some loot in here. Man, we haven't been in here in a while. Look at all this loot in here. Nice. I am a super looter. I'll go in and grab just an absolute ton of loot. Well, look at the red eyes on that guy. Creepy. Haven't been up here since the beta version. I remember coming up here then. Some decent loot up here. Decent loot. There we go. Cool. I really want to get one of these for my base, because these are something I put at every single base like in Fallout 4, so that I can just come through and get that radiation off of me. Great to see you, Diamond Eye. How you doing tonight? Settling in after work. Glad to be here. Oh, great to see you in the chat, Diamond Eye. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Bear the Gamer coming in saying, hi, kids in chat. Why is my chat so small over there? I'm like squinting to see you guys. There we go. Now I can see it nice and big. There we go. I must have turned my size of my chat down. There we go. Come on in, relax, take it easy. Of course, we're doing our cash run right now, making that money, as I like to do. They don't call me the Wasteland Tycoon for nothing. I do like to make that cash. Now, where are we at right now on our cash? Yeah, about 1164 on our cash. Now, I don't keep a lot of caps on me just to say, look, I got 50,000 caps. I typically use the caps for whatever purpose I need it. And again, a great place to come in, get a little bit of an XP. Surprise! It's Kismet! What's up? Anybody else? Nope. All right, look at this. Just free loot laying around saying, Kismet, come and get me, come and get me. Have a little bit of a seat first. Totally didn't want to have a seat. No reason to have a seat. There we go. And again, look at this. This is just money laying around here. Money and resources that you can use to make a bunch of stuff later on. And that's typically why you'll see me loot everything. And I get that question all the time. Kismet, how do you get so much resources in Fallout 4 and here in Fallout 76? And that's because I super loot. I loot everything. I take it all. And most of the time, when you get to the higher levels, like I am, red, there's something flashing there. I was flashing from the outside. That's the capturing the camp. basically, I spent a lot of time collecting all of the loot. And then I know that it's going to have a benefit later on, right? Now, some of this stuff I will throw away or sell or whatever I need to do. But most of it I will utilize for repairing. Pressed it just one too many times. I'll utilize it for repairing and all of that stuff. So I'm never really in a hurry in game. I actually played in beta, which is funny because my character in beta was about the same level as my character now. But I felt it was kind of like cheating to be able to take that character into the live game. So I deleted that character and started a new one. I'm level 38 right now, for those wondering. Again, this is my primary character, and I'm playing on PC, though I do play on Xbox and PS4, so I do kind of spread out some time in those ones as well. But again, in no hurry. I'm in no rush, right? Some people get in a rush to play the game, and they think that anybody cares what level they are. I don't care. I don't care typically about levels. I try to get the most fun out of the cash I spend on games, right? That's what you'll find here in my stream. I am making the money, taking my time on that journey. Right now, we're going to go ahead and get some copper. And then, of course, we know if you guys have been watching me do my, of course, Kismet cash run here, we run up here as well, get that copper, then we get some crystal. It's just laying on the ground. Why not, right? I mean, it's free loot. It's free loot. And, of course, this is how we really make a good amount of caps. Again, utilizing our perk cards here, utilizing our green thumb, we're going to go around and we're going to collect a lot of razor grain. Again, this is one of my favorite spots in the game so far. Now, I haven't explored the entire game. Have I set off nukes and done all the content? No, 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 no. Now, I've played over 2,500 hours live here on stream of Fallout 4. Played through 6 times in different modes. I played in normal mode, which became way too easy. Didn't even bother to play the game all the way to the end. I just started over again in survival mode. It was too easy. Got way too easy right about level 40. So I started over again, and we played through in that survival mode, which was very, very fun, which was now called the old survival mode. Before they added, of course, the need to have food and water and all those things, which, of course, they carried over here into Fallout 76, because you do have to, you know, manage your health, and you have diseases and things like that you have to manage. But also, you have to, or you can do, mutations and things like that, which is a lot of fun. I really like that, the addition of the mutation system. Adds a little bit of extra element of fun. Now, again, I'm just going back and forth collecting razor grain here. You'll see why here in a moment. We'll just run back and forth and grab all the sweet loot. Grab the loot, grab the loot, grab the loot. Back and forth. Now, you can see the difference in the razor grain. You can see that these ones over there are brown, and these ones over here are fairly green, which is giving us an indication of which ones we've already done. Again, thank you to Bethesda for that. It'd be very hard to do this if you didn't know the difference between one and another, right? Which one you've already done, because you would just be, you know, wandering around clicking on the same ones over and over. And there we go. All right, there we go. Now, we're actually overburdened right now with loot because we had a bunch of loot from before. We're at 238, or we'll get my big head out of the way, 238 of 265. Oh, wait, actually. 238 of 260. Oh, that's HP. Come on, Kismet. Wake up. I didn't get a lot of sleep today. I'm just going to tell you up front. 337 of 240. There we go. Oh, man. Oh, man. If stuff like that happens, just roll with it. I have sleep apnea, so I don't always get that much sleep anyway. So there you go, Exeter. Yeah, level 38 right now. Again, I like to take the journey. I like to enjoy the journey, right? If you rush from beginning to end, this is what you get. If you don't rush, you know what you get? You get the big adventure. You get all of the loot. You get all of the fun along the way. I never cheat. I never shortcut because it's not cheating the game. It's cheating yourself out of some of the enjoyment of the game, I find. Of course, it's your game. You can do whatever you want. They're your life choices. But for me, I feel like it is kind of shortcutting my game. That's why you'll see that I could call on my crew, right? I can call the Wasteland Tycoons in here and I can say, hey, give me every great weapon. Give me all the loot. Give me tons and tons of caps and all of that stuff. And they'd do it because they're super nice. But I don't like to do that. I like to have the journey. I like to have that struggle and learn stuff. Sometimes the hard way. Sometimes you're going to die. And you'll learn it the hard way along the way. And then you'll be like, okay, now I understand. So we're going to go ahead and run back here, over here to this building. And it's going to help us a little bit when we get there. Slowly, though. Slowly walking. There we go. That's why I like a lot of action points, by the way. You'll see I use Action Boy to give me that boost in action points so I can run quite often. There we go. So now we were at 337 of 240, so we've got to reduce our weight. So we're going to go ahead and scrap all of the items. It's going to massively reduce our weight down. We're also going to go in and see if there's any weapons. We got a bunch of random weapons from those mobs that we got. Those are typically what's weighing you down. If you're wondering what's always weighing you down all the time, it is typically the weapons that you pick up. So I'm going to go ahead and scrap those right over here. And, of course, that's going to give me a bunch of resources on top of the resources I've already picked up. Let's go ahead and look at our stuff here. We got a little bit of stuff that we can go ahead and scrap there. Now we're down to 267 of 240. And, again, I rarely ever wear power armor, but especially early in the game. Later in the game, I'll wear it quite often because I do love the jetpack and I do love the ability to jump off of stuff. I jump very, very far down. What location you are on the map? This is like the shore and the sea. Man, I like your name. Like the shore and the sea, I am currently at Sylvia Homestead. So I'm using my green thumb to get double.
Attention, citizens. Nuclear
Oh, God, we're going to get nuked. Oh,
Please
no.
exit the area at your earliest convenience.
Gotta
Thank you
get
for your
nuked to Rooney.
cooperation.
Now, see, I put my base right here, so it's fairly close to here, so I can jump over here, I can grab all this loot, and I'm good to go. Look out, death from above, everybody. Now, look at this, very, very close. We're 257 of 245 now. What can we do to kind of reduce our weight just enough so we can travel, right? So we can travel from one place to another. And we do have a level up, so let's go ahead and work on that. Now, where do I want to put my points? I've been putting them into strength. Let's see what we got in strength here. Do we want to add another thing here? Or ordnance expand, explosive weight 30% less. Now, I've already got pack rack going. I've already got that stuff going. I've already got strong back all the way up, so I can carry a lot. Sprinting and power armor consumes half as much fusion core energy. That's a good one. That's a good one. Already got travel pharmacy going. It's always good to look at what you already have. So if you hit tab and then tab again, it'll allow you to look at the cards that you already have. You can see I've got pack rat, so a 75% reduction in the junk weight that I'm carrying. I've got 90% reduction in the pharmacy stuff. And, of course, strong back, which is going to give me plus 40% to my carry weight just off the bat. Now, the cool thing is, you take stuff in and off of here. So you can rearrange your whole setup. Like one setup, you can be like your pack rat carry setup, where you're like me, you're doing super looting. And then, of course, you can have your group stuff. Like one of the group things that I typically use is Team Medic. But when I'm not in a group, I'm going to take that out, right? And I'm going to go ahead and put Lone Wanderer in there. So I take 15% less damage, and I gain 20% AP regen. So, of course, it's going to help my AP regen while I do that. And I think the perk system is the greatest thing in the entire game. I think it's the Rosetta Stone, the home run of Fallout 76. And, you know, there are some downsides to the game. You know, there's server issues and stuff like that. You know, as all games do when they launch, all online games have that issue. I have realistic expectations of online games when they launch. But one of the things they did do as a home run is this perk system. So if you love Fallout, you love the lore of Fallout and all that stuff, great storyline, fantastic perk system. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So huge love out to Bethesda for that. Okay, so we can do charisma. I've already got 13 charisma. I've already got very high strength. Kind of feeling like going to go very heavy into intelligence here. And we're going to start working on our crafting now. A lot of things that I typically won't do is like crafting all of that stuff. Fix it good. You can repair armor and power armor for 130% of the maximum condition. That's nice. We got a master hacker here. So gain +1 hacking skill and terminal lockout time is reduced. Nuke just hit. Just heard it. Stabilize and power armor. Heavy gains gain more accuracy and ignore 50% armor. Ooh, that's a nice one too. Now, I'm not going to deal 40% more damage to workshops and stuff like that. I'm not going to shoot people's bases. That's just not... I just feel that's not cool. Of course, we can also craft... Get nuked! Get nuked! People always nuking White Springs, right? I have not done any nukes yet, but when I do, I'm going to nuke myself. It's going to be super fun. Like the Shore in the Sea says, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. That thing about cheating was spot on. Exactly. I mean, I learned that lesson a really long time ago, and I tell this story from time to time on stream. Way back in the old school days, like me, I'm old school. I'm the OG. I'm the one that took the machete and cut the path for future gamers today. I'm so old school. But I had this game, and it was called Rescue Raiders, and it was one of my favorite games of all time. It was like you're this helicopter, and you're flying along, and of course your little troops are going this way. And of course the enemy troops are coming this way. And of course they meet up in the middle and you use your helicopter to blast their stuff so your stuff can get through. And of course there's an enemy helicopter trying to get through and you got to blast their helicopter. So you can of course move your troops all the way across to the other side as a side scroller. And you can go all the way of course and get it to their base and then blow up their base. I don't know if you've ever seen it. You can probably look it up on the internet. Rescue Raiders. So I played the heck out of that game. One of my favorite games. I absolutely love to play. So there's this new thing that came out, AOL, back in the day, and I got on AOL, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to download this thing called an Axis Game Cheater, right? A friend of mine said, hey, go download it. So it took me 8 hours to download. It was like 100K. So I downloaded it, and I put it in there, I loaded it, and then, I get myself unlimited ammo, and I was like, all right, awesome, unlimited ammo, and I'm invulnerable, and I can blow everybody up, and oh, man, I played for a couple hours, and then, to my horror, I realized that now the game has no challenge. There's no reason to play that game. I didn't want to play it anymore, and I've never played the game since. That's the problem with cheating, is that it actually shortcuts and makes the value of what you purchased, right? And I don't like the value of stuff that I purchased to go down. I like the value of stuff that I purchased to go up, right? That's what I like to do. And so that's why I don't cheat, because it does rob you of some of the fun. And that's why I don't like to be shortcutted either. That's why it's like I don't have people give me all the best weapons and give me all the things. I don't want that experience stolen away from me. Great example is like Ark or something like that you play where you got that person who's in there and they go like, here's all the best weapons, and I'll be the everything person. Look, I'll be the builder. I've done all the armor. I've made all the weapons. I've tamed all the guys. I've done all the stuff. All you need to do is just come in and get all the free stuff. And hey, if you like to play that way, cool, more power to you. But am I in somebody's way? Somebody's noise. I heard a noise. Basically, I know that's why I don't like to be shortcutted. And also, if you take that, you're going to take that away from people, right? They won't get to learn how to craft. They won't learn how to tame animals. They won't get to learn to do all of that stuff. We got to get back to some Atlas, too. Never finished that ship. Never got back to that. Got totally sidetracked onto Astroneer. It's a very, very fun game, though. Very, very fun. All right, so we're going to look through the perks here. That's what we were doing. Looking through the perks. And I'm pretty bad about collecting... about going through and doing my level ups. So sometimes I'll have multiple level ups, like 2, 3, 4 level ups that I haven't done. I know I'm pretty bad. All right, so we're going to filter over here. Basically luck, agility, intelligence, charisma, endurance, perception, strength. There we go. We turn the filter off, and then we can just kind of get an idea of what we might want to do, right? Then we just kind of go through all of the potential thing. Bobbleheads and magazine last twice as long. Dead man sprinting. Sprint 10% faster at increased rate when your health is low. That's a good getaway card. Let's see. Demo expert. Expert commando. We've already got concentrated fire for that, which is pretty decent. Any chems you have. Caps collector, always a great one. Very early game as well, because it gives you extra caps every single time, especially in Fallout 4. You go caps collector, and then also the one that does the ammo, which I can't remember the actual name of it right at this second. But the one with the ammo, of course, you get a little bit of ammo every single time, so it gives you a huge advantage in game. Very tempted to get Aqua Boy. Incredibly great one. You no longer take radiation. Might have already gotten it. Armorer. Yeah, see, look at this. Ammo Smith. There's 40% more rounds when crafting ammunition. Oh, we may need to get that one. That sounds like the one right there. Hold on, hold on. What are we at in agility? We're at 6 right now. We're using moving target, action boy, and evasive, which is all some decent. Those are some decent cards there. This is when no power armor, though. This is no power armor. We've also got home defense down here, which basically, my big head in the way, which basically you only need when you're crafting your turrets, and then you take it off when you don't need it, and you go ahead and give yourself other stuff. Also, I've got gunsmith, which is reducing the damage that my weapons take. So, I'm feeling the agility, actually. I was kind of feeling like I should go intelligence so I could do more gunsmithing and more armor smithing. And we've already got armor smithing right here, so we could switch that in and out. But I'm feeling that one over there so that when we make ammo, we're making 40% more ammo each and every time. That's going to, of course, reduce the amount of resources that we need to produce that ammo. So I'm feeling that. I'm feeling like we should maybe put another point in agility. Now, we could put points in other things and then get a card for agility. Maybe we should do that. Where do I want to get a point? Let's see. Maybe in endurance. All right. We can probably take our green thumb out now and put our concentrated fire in. Let's see. In endurance, what do we got in endurance? Let's see. Slow metabolizer. We've got lead belly, which I think is the most powerful card in the entire game, other than the team one. No, I don't want to do an update, Microsoft. Get the heck out of here. Microsoft and their updater. Triggered! Look out! Kismet is triggered. Kismet is triggered. There we go. Microsoft Updater is the only thing in life that triggers me, I tell you. Have you played Fallout 3 or New Vegas on stream? I have. I actually have. I love me some Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. Incredibly great RPG experience. If you've never played a Fallout, I suggest to start with either the kind of arcadey first-person shooter style of Fallout 4, or if you like a very heavy storyline with amazing storyline and that kind of real Fallout experience, you definitely want to check out New Vegas and Fallout 3. Incredibly great. Incredibly great. So, yes, I have played it on stream before. I've actually played Fallout 1 on stream before, too. I love me some Fallout 1. Still holds up today, by the way. Storyline is great. I'm not going to spoil anything about Fallout 1, even though it's been out forever. Check it out. Podak says, good morning, sir. How do you like Fallout 76? Are you looking forward to the new content? Absolutely. Yeah, we're getting our new content soon. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Look at this. We're going to get, of course, it was supposed to come out on the 12th. But they did say that they're going to delay it because they want to kind of test it a little bit more. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Of course, we're going to get stuff all, spring, summer, and fall. A whole bunch of new quests and nuclear winter mode and high-level raids and new features and all sorts of cool stuff. I love it when the game company communicates with you. You know, it had a rough launch. There is no denying that, as all online games do. And this is their first online game. So they've taken an extra bit of beating. Now, I love the game. I have lots of fun in the game. Now, is it a Fallout New Vegas? It is not. I'm going to just tell it to you straight. I don't sugarcoat nothing. Now, you know, Bethesda's really kind to me, by the way, and they send me free codes to give to you guys and whatnot. And I am like a partner streamer with Bethesda in that way. But I always just tell it like it is. That's just the way I am. If you're looking for that New Vegas experience, it is not that. It is a different experience, but it is a fun experience, I think, for Fallout. It's basically Fallout 4 with friends. So if you want to run around with your friends, you can run around in Fallout universe. And, of course, there's lots of storyline, if you love storyline like I do, to go around and read and be part of along the way. Let's see. What do we want to do here? What do we want to do? 30% less likely to catch the disease. Eating dog food is 309. Quench thirst, additional 25%. I feel like we want to put a point in endurance, but get the card for agility. I feel like that's what I want to do right there. So I can go ahead and pop another one of these cards here to reduce my thirst and reduce my need for food, right? So maybe 2 more points, 1 for the slow metabolizer and 1 for the drinks. And then also we can have our lead belly in there as well. I think that'll help overall, so we don't have to worry about as much food and that kind of stuff all the time. And, of course, reducing those survival elements is incredibly, incredibly useful. But let's get back to it here. Let's see, 257 of 245. Now, I can go ahead and drink some alcohol. And now I'm up to 250. And I've got a little bit of stuff. You know what? We don't need to carry this stuff around. Just drop that stuff. Bam! Just drop a little bit of it. Buff out. Drop one. I don't really need it that bad. Now, of course, buff out barely weighed anything there. We'll go ahead and just pick that back. Let's get that back. That barely weighs anything. It's 0.03. Boiled water, though, that's easy to get. You can always get that again. And we can also use this to go ahead and transfer again. We need 2 things. Now, another great thing to get rid of is ammo, right? Get rid of this ammo that you're not using. You know, it's just weighing you down. 45, not using it. 50, not using it. Using that. Grenades, no. 5.5, there we go. That's it. That's as much as I need. Boom. Right there. That's it. I'm good to go. Now, because I traveled over here, it did cost me 8 caps, but if I go back to my camp now, it is free. So I can go back to my camp, and I just happen to be right by the vendor, so I can go and I can sell all this stuff. And you're like, well, Kismet, what are you doing all this rigmarole stuff? You're running around, you're collecting different plants, you're collecting corn, you're collecting razor grain. What is the purpose of all of that stuff? Well, I happen to have my camp right here. And you can see I'm producing a little bit of purified water. Which is a great way to make money, by the way. Incredibly great way to make money, both in Fallout 4 and here in Fallout 76. Every single one of those is worth 5 caps. So I just collected 30 of them earlier, and you can do the math yourself. But you can see that I'm just literally running around again. It's already made some more purified water. And basically, it's an endless source of money. An endless source of money right there. And, of course, we've also got our potatoes and everything here. Let's go in and, again, do what I really love. Oh, we didn't even finish that level up. Do what I love to do. Take out concentrated fire. I'm going to put green thumb in, and then actually go get double the potatoes here. Wow, look at this, man. We are having an epic collecting day today. Look at that. Look at all that mute fruit. Holy moly. Holy moly. Now, of course, if you keep this stuff too long, it is going to spoil. So there's no reason to keep 200 razor grain or 200 of each of these things. Again, look at this loot just laying here. Just saying, Kismet, come and get me. Come and get me. Free money laying on the ground. So the whole reason I collect all of that stuff, and the reason why I've got corn and mute fruit here, or not corn, potatoes and mute fruit at my base, and then, of course, the corn that I went and collected, along with the razor grain, is so I can make adhesive. Now, there's 3 things that I've found here in Fallout 76 that are fairly tough, that are fairly rare to find. And that is the lead adhesive and plastic. So we, of course, are crafting our own adhesive by going into the cooking station and using all of that stuff that we just gathered, right? We gathered 140 corn, right? We gathered a bunch of mute fruit. We got 87 mute fruit. That's a lot. We got 114 purified water and 54 potatoes. So this is probably going to be our best run ever. That's literally like, if we cut that in half, say 50, we cut it in half by 2 because it takes 2 potatoes each time. That is 25 adhesive that we're about to make. Each 10 adhesive is worth about 170. So we literally are making 400 caps plus right now, literally by making our own adhesive. And it cost us 7 caps to do that. We made 400 caps from 7 caps, right? There we go. Now, we made a bunch of adhesive. And then, of course, that's going to allow us to, repair our power armor, make ammo, all of that stuff as well. Plus, I'm looking good, right? Plus, you got to look good doing it. So we got all that. And then we can also make, let's make some razor grain soup over here real quick. I forgot that. We can also make some soup out of that from all that razor grain we gathered. Let's see. Razor grain soup. Where you at? Right here. All right. So we need some boiled water. You're like, Kismet, you gave away your boiled water. Well, literally I can walk straight down here and get an endless source of water. Not the purified water, but I want to get the water right out of here. And I can literally just hit R to collect. Now, I think this is a little bit of a fail, right? This is a little bit of a fail because I can literally pick up a mass. I'm just hitting R over and over again. Collect, right? I can literally pick up a massive amount of dirty water right here. I just picked up 78 dirty water or whatever it was plus what I had on me. I just picked up a ton of dirty water. Now, I think it should have been just like in the survival mode in Fallout 4, the new survival mode where you had to use bottles to use it, which would be a great use for bottles. And then also limit that ability to just get 100 of it very, very quickly. Personally, I think that would have been a better game mechanic. I really like that game mechanic in the survival mode. Now, of course, I played through about 6 times in Fallout 4, and I did play in the survival mode, the new survival mode, in the hardest way. You can play it, of course, in melee mode. So I played it in the hardest mode, the hardest way, all the way through. Had an amazing time. We've done it multiple times and had lots of fun. And that's what we're doing here in Fallout 76. Just taking our time, enjoying the journey along the way, making the series caps right now, and doing some fun stuff. So let's go ahead and make a bunch of boiled water. Mechanical keyboard. You're like, Kismet, you should macro that. I get that all the time. Kismet, you should macro that. I never macro stuff. I feel even macroing feels like cheating to me, so I don't even do that. There we go. So now we did that. Now we can make a bunch of razor grain soup. Now again, we literally picked up 218 razor grain today. Just going back and forth in that row in that one spot we were in, that was 218 razor grain. Pretty easy to do. So we're just going to go ahead and make a bunch of soup here. Not too much, because the soup is going to spoil. So we're going to go ahead and just make a bit of soup. Yeah, it's probably good enough. Probably good enough. And then now that's what that's going to do is just make it super easy for us to go in and use our razor grain soup to do our food and water right over there. Watch as I go ahead and take that all the way to maximum. I've still got 13 left. I'm good, right? And you're like, well, Kismet, is that all you're going to make today? Is that all the money you're going to make? No, we're going to make a bunch of money right now. We're going to run over this vendor, which just conveniently happens to be right by my base, right? I'm sure I didn't pre-think that or anything. I find this actually one of my favorite places for a base because you got water for you got a little lake here for purified water. You've also got a great place where you can put your base up on top of this building, which can't be destroyed, right? Which is an existing building. Below my base, so of course it makes it a little bit harder for the NPCs or for players to destroy the under part of your base, but if they do, you can always just repair it, no big deal. So we're going to go in here, we're going to talk to this vendor.
Welcome.
And we are going to mute the heck out of him. The vendors in this game, a little yappy. And again, Foon, CSGO, thanks for being here, man, appreciate it. What location am I in? Let me catch you on chat. New content tomorrow, exactly. Let's see. Fall games. I love the fall games, but I haven't played 76 yet. It's every player seems to be hostile, or are there like PvE servers? I wish there were PvE servers. I wish they had made the game PvE and PvP, right? Just all in PvP and all in PvE, right? Instead of mixing the two, which was a great experiment. Hey, you know, I give them, you know, have the cojones to go in and to just go completely different from the normal Fallout series. Normally, you know, you're single playing and you're doing a deep kind of companion storyline where you got a Nick Valentine and you're talking with Nick Valentine and you're doing that kind of deep storyline with NPCs and whatnot, which, you know, of course, like Skyrim and things like that, the same kind of thing, right? Very heavy, NPC heavy and very heavy companion or storyline, and you're going along that stuff. Now, you still have that experience. You can still have a solo experience in Fallout 76, but it's a lot less voiceover, a lot less PC player character experience than you normally do. Like, you read it from terminals, you hear it from robots, you might hear it from a holotape, and that will still give you those found adventures, but not as much as you would have talking to an NPC. Now, of course, you know, listening to those holotapes and also interacting with people who've left stuff on there is essentially the same thing, but there's no companion NPCs, right? When people say, oh, there's no NPCs in Fallout 76, there's plenty of them. There was some shooting at me earlier. There's plenty of them. I'm talking to one right now, but there's no NPCs in that traditional way. All right, so we'll go ahead and get rid of all this stuff. We don't need all this stuff. Get out of here. Now, also, we got a bunch of corn here. We could save that corn, or we can just sell it and get the caps. Now, the maximum amount of caps I can get from this vendor is 200, which is not very much if you think about it. Oh, keep that going. Do not get rid of my Psycho. Do not get rid of my Psycho. I got to keep my Psycho for a quest. I keep selling it off. Right now, he's got 4 caps left. Let's go ahead and sell that off. There we go. Now, what we're trying to do is we're first trying to get his caps. So we're selling him all this extra stuff that we picked up, including the corn. We'll also sell the razor grain, stuff like that. And then we're looking to see what he's got. He's literally got no junk, really. He literally has nothing on him. That seems weird to me. Let's go ahead and go out and look again. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. A little bugged out there. And of course, I'll look through the plans every single time to see if there's anything that helps me in my base. But I'm not going to buy cosmetic stuff for my base because I just don't have enough room. I would rather use my base as an efficient moneymaker, which is what I do in Fallout 4. If you've never seen my mega runs, by the way, you can check them out on my YouTube, my giant mega builds that I've done in Fallout 4. I love building. It's incredibly fun. And of course, I turn every single settlement into a profit generator. So at first, like by level 5, I'm already making 10,000, 5,000, 10,000 caps in game. You're like, Kismet, that's not possible. Absolutely, it's possible. You want to go see how? Go check out my videos. Go check out those videos and hit subscribe while you're over there as well and hit the little bell thing. But you can see exactly how to make literally hundreds of thousands of caps, and you can do it just in the vanilla version of Fallout 4. You can do it on PS4, Xbox. You can be a Wasteland Tycoon just like me, and I like to look for those in-game mechanics that allow you to earn lots of caps and, of course, buy yourself all the epic gear and, of course, you know, progress your way. Because that's what I would do if I was in the game, if I was really there. In the game, the first market I would corner would be water and food. That's the first thing I would do. How can I generate lots of food and lots of water and sell it to other people to make myself incredibly rich, right? And that's what I will do in Fallout 4 and all my settlements. And so I'll go from 5,000 to 10,000 to 20,000 to 50,000 to 80,000 to 100,000 bottle caps. Every few days, I am generating income in Fallout 4. That's me. I'm the guy that goes to the arcade and picks up all the quarters and then gets out of there, right? I'm that guy. I'm that guy who goes to each settlement, picks up all the purified water, picks up all the extra loot and junk and all of that stuff that they're generating for me to make me money. Now, you don't have settlers here in Fallout 76. You don't have the ability to build gigantic mega builds. Very, very limited. But of course, they might add all that stuff in the future. I don't know. The sky's the limit, really. They could add whatever they want because we know the mechanics are possible, right? That they could add that because obviously it was in Fallout 4. So they definitely have the mechanics for it. And of course, it was improved mechanics, even being better. But it's an online game, so it's going to evolve over time. So, you know, people get on the hate train sometimes. Thank you, Anonymous Cheerer. Thank you so much for the 2 bits. Well, I forgot all my follows. Look at this. I'm so far behind. I apologize. Let's see. Pounce is coming in. We got Stiff coming in. X Sooner. We got Foon CSGO coming in as well. Lento E-Soup. I don't know. I'm a little off today. Bits of Kibbles coming in. Dropping the Dragon Hammer. Crushing that follow button. Just like this. Just like that. And becoming part of the Wasteland Tycoons. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to say hello in the chat. People actually say hello to them. There we go. So I do have lots of fun running through. Now, this is something I do every single time I log in because what it's doing is just generating me cash. And, of course, it allows me to buy more and more stuff. Very, very consistent because the caps income level here in Fallout 76 is very, very restricted. I mean, like, I could go and do a trade that's literally worth 50,000 caps in Fallout 4. I could go in and trade, say, 8,000 purified water and buy the entire vendor out. Right? And actually, I get to a point in Fallout 4, usually about level 40 or 50 or 60, where I can literally buy out every single vendor in the game. Every single one. I can go to every single vendor and buy every single thing that they have. That's how much money I generate. And that's why I got the nickname, the Wasteland Tycoon, here on the stream. I absolutely love doing that kind of stuff. Very, very fun. So again, I like to share my experiences along the way here in the stream as well. That's the way my stream is. I like to have that type of fun, and it's my stream. I can do whatever I want. That's a great thing. And I appreciate you all being here. Now, let's go ahead and get back to making some cash here, though. So we're going to go in and we're going to look in the notes and see if there's anything in there. Nothing there. And then, of course, here in the junk, again, look at that adhesive, 162. We just made 3 rounds of that. So really, we made about 600 caps roughly already today. And, of course, I'm going to grab that lead. I feel that's worth it. 74, you get 10 lead. So, if you work out the math, I feel that's worth it. We got steel that we could buy, bulk steel. I don't know. I think I probably have enough steel for now. I don't feel that's worth it. There's more steel there. A toaster. I don't feel that's worth it either. I mean, we could find more just running around. So, that's the end of that vendor, right? And then, of course, we've sold stuff. It's made us have less weight. We've made lots and lots of cash. Lots and lots of cash, so I have lots and lots of fun here in the stream. Hey, Google's coming in. Are they giving us horses soon? That would be cool. I wish they had done vehicles, right? I wish they had done kind of a combination of Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft multiplayer, and of course, the building system of 7 Days to Die. I would have loved to see that kind of bring together. You know, Bethesda's a fairly big company. ZeniMax is also very big. They could have bought, you know, they probably could have bought Rockstar, but they could have definitely bought out 7 Days to Die, and of course, added vehicles and do that kind of wider Fallout universe, and of course, make a new engine and all that other stuff. But that all costs money and time. It costs lots of money and time. All grand. There we go. I love this game. There you go, Unis. I love it too. I have lots of fun. I think that's, you know, that's the thing. Yeah, I find there's a lot more nice people, Podek, than mean people in the game. Now, I've had some people come in the game and say, you know, blah, 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 and just use, you know, homophobic slurs in the chat and whatever, and I was trying to turn it off on the Xbox, which, of course, I don't know. I had all the sound turned off. I had the thing turned off where no one could talk to me, and someone just came in and was, like, being, you know, being obnoxious, and then, of course, attacking me and following me around and being basically just a bit of a troll. And I did eventually learn how to mute them, get rid of them, which is great, and block them and whatnot. And then, of course, you can switch servers to get away from those people, right? So if you don't like them, you can go in your Xbox or PS4 or PC. I have all the consoles now, even Switch. And then, of course, block them and then just switch to another server. Then you don't have to worry about them, right? Just don't add them to your friends list so they can't find you. Just switch server to another server and you're good. All right, so we're making tons of cash. Again, this is something I like to do every single time. It makes me lots of cash in the thing. Now, again, our stash is just massively full, so we need to go ahead and sell some more of it. So go pounce up here. A lot of you who've been watching the stream, I appreciate you guys I do have a tendency to reiterate the same thing. El Fuzzy Nuts coming in. What's up, El Fuzzy Nuts? Hardcore mode. I like to play hardcore mode. I like to play the harder modes. And basically, Fallout 76 is like the survival mode of Fallout 4. You have to worry about food, water, conditions. You have to worry about mutations and all of that fun stuff. But I like that. I like that part of the game. I'm not going to complain about it. I like it. I'm kind of a bummer that you can't quick travel, though, while overburdened. I have not found a way to do that yet. Don't tell me. Don't tell me if it's possible. We'll keep working toward it. Maybe we'll discover it at some point. Maybe we'll even do our level up at some point. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put a point in, I think it was a point in endurance. Is it point in endurance? No, I think that we're going to get the card in endurance. Radical. Greater rads. The greater your rads, the greater your strength. Ooh, I kind of like that one. I kind of like that. Oh, we're going to put a point in this one, but we were going to get the card in agility. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to put so I clicked on endurance. That means I'm telling it I want to get 1 endurance point. But I'm going to go ahead and switch through the filters to agility here, like this. And we want to get ammo smith so that when we're making ammo, so we can just put this on, make ammo, and then take it off, right? That's the great thing about the perk system. It's the home run of Fallout 76 is the perk system. This guy should be in charge of the whole rest of the game. Whoever came up with his perk system, or a group of people who came up with the perk system, they should literally be in charge of the entire game. That's how fantastic I find the perk system to be. So there we go. So we got a point in endurance. See that? We got that extra point. So now we can go ahead and go in endurance and say all drinks quench thirst by an additional 25%, or all food satisfies hunger by an additional 25%. I kind of feel like that one is the one we're going to do. And then, of course, over here on agility now, we have this ammo smith. So we're going to go ahead and just take our evasive off temporarily, put on our ammo smith, and then we're going to go ahead and just to remember for later, we're going to go ahead and craft some stuff. And we're going to super loot, grab some loot here, like so. And you'll notice that I have the sound off. We're not going to loot all that other stuff. Let's just go ahead and sell some of the stuff off. We just got so much stuff. You have to get in a different mindset in Fallout 76. You got to get in a total different mindset of you got to get rid of that extra stuff. You got to. You can't keep it. It's not like you have 25,000 weight worth of stuff you can put in your storage like you can in Fallout 4 and other games as well. And, you know, in the previous versions of Fallout, you know, some of those storages, you can put a ton of stuff in there, right? You're very limited, very, very limited in what you can do here. So I'm just going to go ahead and sell stuff. Now, notice, by the way, his caps have reset, right? Because this is a different faction, right? For every faction of vendors, you can get 200 caps. This is a whole different faction. We'll go to another faction as well We're just basically selling all this excess stuff off, right? Selling 2 psychos. We're trying to keep 1 psycho for a quest. Diluted, no. Radaway diluted. I hate to get rid of those. Keep those right here. Now look at this. 195 razor grain. I can literally just dial in how much caps this guy's got. Now, this is not the only way of doing this, obviously. You can go ahead and just get, legendary armor. You can go ahead and just get weapons and sell those. I mean, there's 100 different ways of doing it, but that is so easy. That is so easy that you just run around, pick up that loot, go to the vendors, sell the stuff to the vendors, get yourself a bunch of caps, keep building up your caps here until you get to a point to buy the stuff that you want, right? In this case, we're looking for stuff that we want. Now, I look in here for, like, power or, things that upgrade my base and stuff like that, right? Eventually, I want to buy, there's a really cool warehouse sets and other sets like that allow you to build more stuff. I definitely want to unlock all of those sets to see if there's something that I can improve my base with down the road. So we're kind of saving up that money right now. Again, we're going to go ahead and buy that bulk lead. What do we got here? Wood. Now he's got 18 caps again, right? Now he's got some caps again. We'll go ahead and sell him some more razor grain soup. Happen to be 13. Awesome. Oh, wait, not razor grain soup. We wanted to just do the regular razor grain, but that was my bad. Oh, well, we can always make more down the road. But I'm just literally dial it in like that. Get those 5 caps. I'm good, right? And that's really all I need to do at this vendor. Then I go to the next vendor. You get the idea. You get the gist of it. Let's see. We're going to go down here. I really like this White Spring Station. I find a lot of people go to this White Spring Station and sell their legendaries. So if you wanted to buy legendaries, I would go to the White Spring Station just to buy all the ones that, the higher level players are just dumping into the vendor. And of course, you can buy it back because you can see what they sold to the vendor. You'll see right now. You'll see it'll probably be a bunch of it. Now watch out for Scorch Piece. No Scorch Piece today. I have come in here and a Scorch Piece was on me. Right at the very beginning. Oh, Liesel coming in with a prime sub love. Thank you so much for showing that love here in the stream. Let's see that love and hype in the chat, everybody. You unlocked your first slot there. You got yourself a little baby dragon. Take good care of him. Take good care of him. You got super duper in luck, Kismet. Yes, I do. Something like that. Sounds like a good time for now. I hope the family is good with that one. Good day. Just rolling smokes and waiting for some family to come. All right. All right. There we go. 13 charisma. Yes, you know why I got 13 charisma? Great example. Is I was just testing it to see if you could go past 10. That's the first thing I always test. Now, of course, they did add the system, so big hype to Bethesda for that. They did add a system where you can actually shift your points as you get into the higher levels, right? As you get past, you get max level, and you want to just see, like, you know what? I didn't want 13 charisma. You know what? I want to go very heavy in perception now, or very heavy in strength. You can start to shift your points somewhere else. But what I like to play is I like to be the one who makes everybody else more awesome, right? So if I want to share a card that has a 1 point, right? Like say I want to share Happy-Go-Lucky, which basically increases people's luck by when they drink alcohol, right? I need 3 charisma to do that. Now, if I want to share it at the second level of star, I will need 6 charisma because it's 1 point per 3 charisma, right? So I'll need 6 charisma to do that. Now, of course, if I want to do a third level one, which I typically do Team Medic, which is my favorite card in the game for team stuff, which means that whenever I use a stem pack, it heals all of my buddies. It heals all 3 of my buddies in party. Now, if I share it by going down here T to share, because I've got at least 9 charisma, bam, just like that. Now, everybody has the ability to do that in the party. So if anybody uses a stem pack, everybody gets healed. I don't know about you, but that is an awesome thing to do for your buddies, especially when you're taking on real hard level stuff, right? I think that's one of my favorite cards in the entire game when it comes to stuff. But when I'm not in a group, like right now, I'm just running around doing some money run, I take that out and, of course, put my Lone Wanderer back in there again. Now, I can also go to a level 4 card, like Gunsmith here, right? And say someone's like, hey, Kismet, I want to craft some stuff. Could you share the Gunsmith with me? Sure. Bam. Then I need 9, 10, 11, 12 charisma to do a level 4 card. Now, if I want to do a level 5 card, you can figure out the math for yourself. You get the idea. That's why I have very high charisma, just to test that system. I typically play a very heavy charisma build, strength build, and intelligence build. I call it the Wasteland Tycoon build because it allows me to trade, get better trade rates, it allows me to carry more, make more money, more caps, and of course, that allows me to buy more stuff much quicker. And then later on, if I decide, okay, I've made my millions, billions, even sometimes trillions of caps, totally legit, no cheating, no shortcutting, don't need third-party mods. I can do it in any version of Fallout 4 or eventually here in Fallout 76. Basically just by running around collecting all the loot. I love collecting loot. I never get tired of picking up loot, by the way. I never get tired of it. I love grabbing all the sweet loot. Just laying around here, right? A bunch of just laying around here. Just grab it. Sometimes we sit down, though. Sometimes we sit down. Now, again, you can always readjust it or whatnot. But this is kind of my primary character, but I'm also testing things along the way, as I like to do. So there we go. I got the ammo one. It's good. Yes, I got that too. More charisma. Should be baked chicken and a 6-year-old. I have no idea what you're talking about, Googles, but whatever. Whatever. Wait. When does the fashion parade come out? Oh, let me look. Let me check it out. Hold on. Sometimes I get behind on chat, by the way. I typically will look back eventually. Parade coming out March 19th. March 19th coming out. Very, very cool. Boop. Right there. Again, see, that's the smart thing that Bethesda does versus other companies, right? Other companies go, what are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with our game. And I've had persons say, oh, well, you know, Apex Legends, I never had any problems with Apex Legends. I'm like, oh, really? And then I send them a link to all of the server problems they had on launch, right? You know? And they're like, well, that's not the only problem they've had. And of course, now you've got people cheating and you've got all these other problems with the game. You know, I have realistic expectations of online games. I have a realistic expectation that there's going to be issues, there's going to be problems, and not to rush into it and let them fix it. Give them time to fix it. Now, again, the thing Bethesda does that I give them full credit for, and, you know, if you were bummed out about 76, hey, you know, go play some Fallout New Vegas. You'll have some fun. Go play some Fallout 4. Play some old school Fallout. And then come back later after they've got it fixed up and have added a whole bunch of stuff to it. Then it'll be super, super fun. But I have lots of fun playing it. So I like the lore of the game. I like the kind of my own spin on it that I put on it of how do you make the money, right? Right now, again, notice this guy's got 200 caps over here. Again, right in here we go again. Razor Grain right off the bat, 35 caps. Right? We got that money. Stealth Boy, let's get rid of it. Salt, sugar. Let's just get rid of all this other stuff here. I don't need to keep any of this stuff. Again, you wanna get rid of that stuff. You know, I don't want to keep it too long. It's just gonna weigh you down. Let's see. Where's those darn Burt books that just suck up so much weight? Those things are so much. Look at that. We're down to 122. Let's see. Notes. Any mods? I got a whole bunch of junk. Now I can sell some of this stuff. If it's not tagged for search, you see that it doesn't have a magnifying glass. I can literally just sell all this stuff that I just picked up. Gold scraps. I mean, you can always get this stuff again. I don't want to sell that. Look at that. I'm 1,500 caps now. Again, this is just because we've been diligent. Every time we log in, we're just selling stuff off. Like so. Not selling my vegetable starch, that's for sure. We definitely want to keep that. That is like very, very valuable, the adhesive right there. That's 2 adhesive each, by the way. Right there. Very, very nice. Kismet, your location where you block a rare vendor bot from spawning at the random encounter spawn there. Oh, that pond is so tempting. I know, right? Yeah. I do that adhesive farm. Yeah, me too. I do the same thing. Adhesive farming, I find, is very, very useful. I just learned how to make more money, a lot more money. Well, hey, that's what I try to do. I try to show you guys how to get that cash in your pocket. Dude, I'm looking for someone that I actually enjoy watching, and you're the one. Oh, well, thanks a bit, Kibbles. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here. And again, thanks for being here. Oh, somebody got timed out. Oh, I'm sorry you got timed out. For whatever reason you got timed out. Watch those chat rules. My mods are just doing as I asked them to do. Just set your friend request on the Xbox, is El Fuzzy Nuts. Oh, okay. I usually play Xbox on Thursday. If you want to play on Thursday, El Fuzzy Nuts, let's play. Let's play on this Thursday, all right? I'll put that in my schedule. I'll put that in my schedule big time. Oh, got timed out again. If I ever win the lotto, new game. There you go. If I ever win the lotto, man, we're going to have a party, bro. We're going to have a party. You think me giving out 1,000 Kismet candy bars and 1,000 desserts is going to be epic at TwitchCon? See, what I really like to do eventually is become the streamer, right? Where I do like basically instead of investment banking, I do investment streaming, where I invest in streamers and let them, shine and give them a big head start here on Twitch. I would love to get to that point. I'm not at that point yet. I would love to have, generate enough funds here in the stream to help fund other streamers. And of course, that pass that Kismet love train onto them. And of course, fund them in such a way or work with sponsors to get them hooked up with gear and all of that stuff. That's kind of my big goal, my big long-term, 5 to 10 year goal. Now that I've already accomplished really a lot of the other goals that I already set, become partnered here on Twitch, get sponsors, get a whole bunch of epic stuff to give away here on stream, get free games for you guys. And just, I'm constantly working on that stuff all the time for you. Needs a spat. They don't need to increase the stash limit anymore. I keep telling them that that's just gonna it's just not gonna happen unless they just go to 25,000, right? If they go to 25,000, then I understand. But if they're just gonna do another, 400, we're just gonna keep filling it up. It's not gonna solve the problem. Using the bulk system is the way to solve the problem. If I can go into my junk here and say, okay, I got 100 aluminum, right? And I can go ahead and bulk that. Take out the plastic requirement. I think, requiring one of the rarest resources in the wasteland to actually bulk your stuff is a huge bad idea. I would take the plastic requirement out, and I would take that, and I would basically make it whenever I go in and bulk 100 aluminum, it reduces the weight by a half. Imagine that. Imagine that if you could go in and take that, and now it's going to be half of that weight, right? Half of that weight times 2, because I have 200 aluminum, right? And then all the way down, right? So, when you go through, you put in the effort, you're using game mechanics, you collect all the loot, and then it reduces the weight. I think that probably would be the thing that would solve a lot of the storage problem, is because you have all this loot. You're saving the loot. You do the same thing in Fallout 4, in New Vegas, in Fallout 3, in Fallout 2, in Fallout 1, in Fallout Tactics. In Fallout Tactics, you're doing that, right? You're collecting stuff and you're saving it because you need it for later. You need those stem packs for later. You need that stuff for later, right? Even funny thing, in Fallout 1, when we played it on stream, not more than 2 seconds into the stream, I'm already overburdened. I had to choose between stuff that I could either take a stem pack or I could take a Radaway, or I could take stuff. You're like, I can't keep that. I can't carry it. You're dropping it down and all that stuff. So I think that would be a better solution than to keep increasing the stash weight. Unless they, they find a way to increase it massively. Like they say, oh, okay, now you can do 10,000. If they could do that, then that problem would be solved. But if they're just going to keep increasing it, 100, 200, I literally could fill that up in a day, right? So you have to really make tough choices. Like right now, I'm 764 of 800. You got to make tough choices. You got to say, okay, what do I really not need? Do I really need 227 glass shards? Probably not. Very rarely using that. But at some point, I'm going to need it, and it's going to be a huge bummer when I've literally thrown away 1,000 glass shards now. Right? Because I picked up stuff and then scrapped it and like, oh man, I don't need that much. And then get rid of it. And that's what you have to do. You have to go through. And you can see I'm getting to a point now where I'm getting about 200 of each thing. Right? I try to get 200 is a good number to grab stuff. Look, I got steel scrap, which is good. You want to have at least about 1,000 steel, 1,000 wood. Those are the only two I would say get close to 1,000 because you're going to use that very, 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 very quickly. And all that's going to go bye-bye. All right, so we did that. And let's go back and do some crafting. Now, I did get the question in the chat. It says, PBR says, I've been debating getting this game. If you've never played any Fallout, I would not play this game first. I'm going to be honest. I could do the old kiss Bethesda's butt thing here in stream. But I like Bethesda in the fact that they do communicate to their players. They admit they had problems, and they're solving those problems, and they're coming out with new content. That gives me lots of respect for a game company when they do that. When they say there's nothing wrong and we know better than players know, we know that company, right? We know several of those companies that say, oh, we know better than what you guys know, right? Wrong! Wrong every time. Wrong every single time when you take that as a game developer.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Exactly. Wrong every time. Every single time. So when you listen to your community and you say, look, I'm having problems. There's bugs. There's server problems. There's all this thing. Man, we wish that it had this. We wish it had more storage. We wish we had more events. We wish we had more content. And they're like, okay. And they go and they fix the bugs. They increase the stash limit. They're in there doing their due diligence, and they're communicating with their players about what is coming. This alone, this makes me happy. When someone says, look, this is what we're working on. We're going to add new game modes. We're going to do all of this stuff. This is a game company doing it right, right? And again, they had to take a big beating on the very first online game. I feel a little bad for them. But I enjoy the game, and, hey, you might enjoy it. I say just give it a try, right? Give it a try. Go in there, bring some of your buddies or solo it, either way, and have a fun time. Don't get on the hate train. People love to get on that kind of superficial hate train, right? They'll read a random post, and then all of a sudden, there'll be like thousands of people in there getting on that hate train just to try to, sabotage other people or whatnot. I don't waste my time with that. That's too much. I thought you were going 13 charisma because there was no survival difficulty in the game. You wanted to make the game harder. There you go, Alpic. That's exactly was the reason. How did you know? How did you know? He called it. What's the price? Kismet, the pie in the claw machine. I got it. You got it for 10 pounds or something. There you go. Yeah, hey, man, you can probably get it. I'd like to see 1,000 skashing in it. Yeah, 1,000 or 1,200 would be nice. But again, you got to think that you're so spoiled from previous Fallouts, right? You're so spoiled that you have 25,000 that you could put in each of the settlements in Fallout 4, right? Each and every settlement, you could have 25,000. I know, I've hit that limit. I've hit that limit many times in Fallout 4. All right, we yapped enough. Let's go back to my camp here. We got a bunch of loot. Now, of course, I could keep going. I could go vendor to vendor, keep selling all this the stuff that I have. But we're just going to jump back and do this because we did start a bit late. Any tips on where to put my camp? Just starting a new game. Put it by wherever you're questing. Wherever you're questing, put it there. And then very early game, just use it. You can just move it all the time. Just make some caps like I'm doing right here. Just sell random stuff to the vendor every time you log in. Try to build up those caps so you can quick travel and all of that stuff. And then just move your camp wherever you're questing. So if you're questing at that starter area, just put it out there. And you can't put it right there in town in most places. You have to kind of go out in the bushes, out in the trees, or off to the side. Put it there. Hey, what's up? Got a doggy, and it's not letting me do anything. I'm stuck on something. I'm stuck on a rock. Way to teleport me in and make me stand right by a rock. I was trying to backpedal. I can't backpedal. I'm holding down S. Literally, there's a rock behind me that I can't see. Teleported me right into the rock. All right. Now, one thing, I don't know why it doesn't teleport me into the base. Right? I would think you should want to teleport straight into the base. But that's just me. That's just my crazy ideas. My rocket launcher should have took those guys out. I don't know why my rocket launchers didn't go off, but such the way it goes. All right, so again, we got to really micromanage. You'll find you have to spend a lot of your time micromanaging your stuff because there is just not enough, throw it in there and forget it, right? That's what people want. They want to just throw it in there and forget it. Now, the thing to do is if you have a lot of stuff, you want to just craft a lot of stuff, right? Like I'm going to craft a bunch of shotgun ammo because I use the shotgun a lot. So let's go ahead and burn a lot of that. Notice my plastic going down very, very quickly. Oh, I hope I had that thing on. Oh my gosh, I forgot to turn my perk on. Did I put it on? Oh, I did. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. See, I was smart earlier. I put it on before I started crafting. There we go. How you doing today? Got your coffee yet? Me? I don't drink coffee. You're talking to me. Instead of the stash limit, they should increase the caps limit at the caps vendor. Yes, I'm down for that as well, Alpic. That is also a very great idea. I keep glass and bone, low 20 bone, 15 glass. Those are two very easy to collect and rarely used in small quantities. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm about to do. I'm about to get rid of literally thousands of resources right now after we go ahead and make sure we have that turned on. So there we go. So we made a bunch of shotgun ammo. Let's see. We got 394 now. Nice. Nice. We also got some 10 millimeter, 297. Looking okay. I like to have about 300 ammo. This way it's not weighing me down. So now comes the hard choices, right? So first thing, notice that, look, we got a little bit of stuff in there that we can grab out and sell next time. A little bit of apparel, mutant right leg. We'll pull that out, sell that next time, right? All this aid stuff. Do I need all of this? Probably not. Oh, some of that stuff we can we can bring down as well. We can go ahead and, not scrap, we're going to craft some items. And we're going to go in smelting, and we're going to turn copper. And crystal shards, gold. Gonna make some fertilizer. I'm just going to go ahead and burn up all of this stuff so it's not weighing down my character. There we go. Burn through all of that. There we go. And you're going to see that it actually reduces the weight in your thing, because it's used up all those resources, converted into a raw resource, which of course reduces the weight of those particular items. And then the same thing in here, right? Like we might have some stuff in here, like look, it's a Saltron circuit board, right? That actually is a junk item, not a raw resource item. So we might have to go in here. Looks like I put some stuff in here that I shouldn't have. And take all this stuff out of here.
You don't mind if I record?
Now look what happens. I found a bug in the game.
Don't need my permission.
All right.
So how's it look out there, Hank?
Basically, it starts playing a holotape if you take out too much junk at the same time. I don't know why it does that. There's no holotapes in that thing. But all right, so now we've got all of our stuff. Let's just make sure that we've scrapped everything. So we'll go ahead and say scrap all junk. Again, watch it reduce the weight. Over here, again, scrap all junk again. We'll go into junk itself. And then we'll manually get all of this other stuff that didn't scrap down to its base resource. Like baseball, beer bottles. We could literally just sell those. That's, 73 caps right there. Let's just go ahead and keep those as that. Death Claw, scrap it. Gas container. I think that was part of one of our quests that we did. And Stingwing Barb. There we go. Now, we got 73 bottles on us right now, right? 73 bottles. Now, if I convert that into glass, it's not going to do me any good. I've already got a massive amount of glass. But that is actually worth caps if I just leave it as is. So we're going to hit T. Drop all that back in there again. 732 now. And then I'm going to go ahead and just make some tough choices, right? Tough choices in here. Do I need 250 bone shards? Probably not. Probably not. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set some of this stuff to what I call a minimum, right? A minimum of what you need. Now, I would usually start with 50, 100, 200, and then 1,000, right? And now, you probably need 1,000 steel, so when you're making ammo, you have lots of steel. And then, of course, wood, when you're crafting stuff like food and water, you want that stuff to be very high. Those would be probably the two highest things. Other stuff like bone shards here, right? I would probably get rid of, say, 150 of these, roughly, and go to 100, right? Aluminum, I want as much aluminum as I can because eventually I'll be working on my power armor, so I want to keep that. Ballistic fiber scrap, do I want to craft that later? Yeah, I want to do ballistic fiber later. But do I have the ability to save just an endless amount of resources? No, I've got to make the hard choices. So we're going to go ahead and downscale a lot of this stuff basically down to 100 now, because 200 seems to be too high at this point. So we're just going to go and dial in roughly around, we'll get it to roughly around 100. Circuits, not going to do that one. Concrete scrap, that's fairly easy to get rid of, or fairly easy to get. And if we really get short on that, we'll go buy it. Copper scrap, I hate getting rid of copper. Cork scrap, see, I might need that later. It hurts my soul to get rid of certain stuff. Crystal shards, no. Adhesive is set, no. No. This is certainly not, I'm not going to touch that at all. You're like, well, Kismet, you got 337. Yeah, but lead adhesive and the other one, which always goes out of my head, lead adhesive, come on, brain, plastic. And plastic, that I would keep the maximum amount because you're going to use a lot of that. Fiberglass spool, out of there. Glass shards, that one I would go very heavy. Very heavy, and let's say 160 out of there. There we go. Gold scrap, I don't really need that. Lead, not going to touch it. Loose gears, not going to touch it. Screws, not going to touch it. Loose springs, no. Plastic, no. Nuclear waste, no. Asbestos, oh yeah, we can get rid of some of that. We're not using all of that. Let's get it out of there. Raw cloth, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not like I'm building a bunch of settlements, right? Not like I'm building a massive amount of settlements and I need all of this resources. And you have to get out of that mindset. You have to get out of that mindset in Fallout 76 that you need to save all this because you're going to build something with it later. Now, leather, that's something normally you want to save so you can make armor and whatnot, but it's out of there. Rubber, not feeling like I'm using much of it, So let's just go ahead and reduce that. Let's say about 160 roughly. Let's keep that one about 200. Silver, don't seem like I'm using much of it right now, but later on I'm certainly going to need it. Whenever you get rid of it, that's when you're going to need it. So we'll keep that up there. Also, scrap, keep that. Acid, we use a lot of that. Antiseptic, not using that much. Let's go ahead and just reduce it to 140. Now, we're going to get a bunch more of this as we're wandering around the wasteland, as we're going from place to place. Now, oil, I've got 300. I feel like, normally I like oil for turrets. But, I already got the maximum amount of turrets that I can put down. So basically, we're going to go ahead and take that out. Now, wood scraps and steel scraps, I've literally had like 2,000 or 3,000 wood and steel, and I've dropped it only to realize that I'll actually need it later. So I feel like that's not a good idea to drop, unless you're over 1,000 in those particular things, then I wouldn't drop those. But there we go. So as we've gone through and kind of found what we prioritize as stuff that we want to keep and find a good balance across there, we've taken all of this out. And you're like, well, Kismet, what are you going to do with it? Well, I'm going to do a solid for whoever else happens to need these resources. I'm going to go ahead and go over here to Charleston Station, and I'm literally going to drop it right in here. I find this is like the great... Hold on. Hold on, I hear that radio. No, radios. I feel like this is kind of like the drop zone for people when they're coming in and out of the vendor. So if you want to drop stuff, here's a fantastic place to drop stuff to help out other people. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop those bone shards right there. Now, I could go through and create a camo character and then, put my stuff down on the ground, hope I log into the same server, grab the stuff, or group up with somebody else and put it on another character just so my other character can hold it. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that, I think, in the game. Now, we're literally going to get rid of all of these resources. This is thousands of resources that we're literally going to drop on the ground right now. But in our soul, it's going to be painful, but it's going to help us a lot, right? Now we go to our stash. We take a look at our stash. Look at that. Now I'm 600 of 800, right? So we've massively reduced the amount of stuff that we have saved so that we have that extra kind of leeway. Usually I find between 600 usually about 200 I like to leave. So when I'm collecting stuff, I can just break it and throw it in there and break it and throw it in there. So I don't have to sit there and micromanage and pick up onesie, twosie stuff. I hate picking up onesie, twosies. I like just coming in, grabbing all the loot, scrapping all the loot, and if I don't need it later on, then I'll get rid of it. Like here, right? I don't need cloth, right? We just drop cloth. Ceramic. I don't need ceramic. So I don't necessarily have to pick it up. Look at this. Someone dropped a whole bunch of stuff in here. Look at this. Somebody dropped a whole bunch of stuff in this corner here. Now, what do I need? Well, hey, it got adhesive in there. I'm taking that one. I'm taking that one. Aluminum scrap, we'll take that. Circuits, yeah, we'll take it. Dinner fork, that's plastic. I'll take that. Loose scrap, lead, scrap. Oh, man, I'll be taking that. Gears, yeah, all right. So, look at that. See, so someone else has dropped stuff here in this corner, and I'm going to be grabbing all of that right out of there. Now, do I need the rest of this stuff? No. So I find this is a really cool thing in the game that this just happens organically. It just happens magically. The people come in and they drop their stuff, typically around by where the vendor's at. Now, I like to drop mine on the ground, though you can put it in here, and it'll probably last longer, by the way, in there than on the ground. It'll eventually despawn. But this way, some people will see it as they come through, and someone's like, man, I sure wish I had some more cloth, because I've run low on cloth, and I'm trying to make armor. Well, bam, there you go. It's on the ground. They can go ahead and pick it up and use it. They're looking for rubber or antiseptic or oil, whatever. They'll have that right there. And, of course, I just picked up some loot that I need for later on. Very, very nice. And, again, sometimes I'm doing questing, by the way. Sometimes I'm doing building. Sometimes I'm just making cash. I do vary my gameplay based on what I feel like doing that day. So I'm not always just hanging out in the base, by the way, everybody. Just to let you know. Bubbly Gump coming in with the 5 bits. Thank you so much for the biddies. Again, Liesel, thanks so much for that subscription earlier. And Johnny Boy coming in, dropping the Dragon Hammer, crushing that follow button along with Bubbly Gump, and becoming part of the Wasteland Tycoons. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Come on in and relax. And thank you to HXG Tiny Chip. What that's all about. I always find it interesting when people put their names in there. I always wonder what they're all about. There we go. Yes, the 200 cat limiter is horrible. Yeah, it is pretty rough. Pretty rough. You can Google Fallout 76 Interactive Map or for lead spots. But yeah, I don't like to look stuff up. I like to discover it in game. But if you guys like to do that, there you go. You have the opportunity to go in and get that going on. Now, let's show some love to everybody who, of course, hit that follow button in the chat. Everybody, if you see people hitting that follow button, or especially if they hit the subscribe button, make sure to show lots of love in the chat. And the more love you show in the chat, the more love that I'll show to you guys. And, of course, give out more Kiz Caps so you can buy tickets to the giveaways to win free games. I've given away a bunch of copies of Fallout 76. A bunch of them. A bunch of them here on stream. Thank you, of course, to Awesome Bethesda for donating those, as well as thousands of dollars worth of other games. I've given away 70 copies of 7 Days to Die. I've given away a bunch of other stuff and even more epic stuff coming down the line. So host the channel. Go out and retweet. Of course, you retweet. That's everybody working together, right? Every time we hit 5 retweets, we give 500 Kiz Caps. And then for 10 retweets, you know what we do? We give you another 1,000. And then when you get to 15 retweets, we then go 1,500 on top of the 1,000 and the 500 that you've already gotten. So you're just building that up, and then when it's time, you're like, ooh, I want to win that Kismet t-shirt. I want to win that Kismet loot drop, get the real life loot. I want to get that game. I want to get that epic thing that Kismet is giving away tonight. You'll have them all built up in there. And again, it's a way of rewarding you guys for hanging out in the stream every single night, just chilling out, having a good time. All right, so I think that's about it for what we were working on there. And again, let's go in and make sure that we scrap items and get all that together. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll hit T to transfer that in there. There we go, 612, right? 612, we got the loot that we want, and we got that done. Now what? Now, all that work was for what? That's so we can go in, and now we can get to the next part, which is, which of course is using the resources, right? Like right now, if we want to repair this fire axe, right? And I like to keep my weapons nice and repaired because they do have a tendency to break quite often. There's that adhesive coming into play, right? Wood, steel, just like I was saying, you want to have lots of that. So you can repair your weapons, right? Same thing here, right? I want to repair that. Of course, my shotgun's the thing that typically does that. And also, let's look and see if we got any new stuff. Now, we got to get up to gunsmith rank 4 for those. Yeah, we need to work on our gunsmith, I think, next. I love the drum magazine, by the way. That's super useful. And let's see, we don't have our suppressor or anything like that yet. It does reduce our range, but it does give us a cool, a heavier bash as well. Now, I typically don't use the suppressor because after you do the first shot, the mobs just automatically have a tendency to know where you're at. So I find that's kind of a waste of time, but that's just me. And then we'll go over here, and of course, all this work that we've done is toward doing this, right? Repairing your armor. Ooh, look at that, almost getting low. And there we go. We repaired our armor. We made some ammo earlier. I love to craft. That's why you'll find me collect a lot of loot, is I love to craft stuff. I love to go in and make it myself. I love to make weapons myself. I like to go in and make ammo and whatnot. And of course, we're doing quest items here. Signal repeater and kid secure. We know where that one is, right? Way up north. We'll get around to it. And of course, you can make other stuff too, right? Make energy ammo. You can make gamma rounds and plasma things and all of that stuff for your different weapons and whatnot in there as well. And we've got that awesome card now that is going to give us a benefit. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. There we go. Give us that benefit. Now, I don't need it on all the time. Only when I'm making ammo. I'll take it off. And then, of course, put my evasive in there. Lone Wanderer, Lead Belly, Slow Metabolizer. Take my green thumb out. Put my concentrated fire in there. Awesome. Awesome. So I can carry lots of stuff. I'm getting lots of perks. I can open up terminals and whatnot. My first aid is giving me 45% higher thing. Then if I want to do it for the whole group, I can put my team medic in. And, of course, I'm getting a higher stem pack rate for everybody in the group, which is pretty cool. And, of course, 40% chance of finding extra chems, which means it gives me lots of stem packs and whatnot as I go through. So, very, very nice. Now, I think that's about it for Fallout 76. I think we're out of time. Oh, man. I just want to keep going. This game is so addicting. It's just, that's how you know you're really having fun in the game, by the way. But all that time just went by, like it felt like 5 minutes went by. That's when you know you're playing a game that you enjoy, right? And I don't BS in the channel here. I don't play games that I don't like to play. I do try to bring different games to you guys here, of course, here in the Mega Stream. I do try to bring different games that I think you'll be interested in, but I do turn a lot of stuff down that people bring to me now. And they say, hey, Kismet, play my game. I'm like, you know, I don't really know if it's my type of game. It's not something that I'm interested in. Are you going to see me play League of Legends? If they came in and said, Kismet, we'll pay you $10,000 to do League of Legends, I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it. Not that I have anything against the game. It's just that I don't find it very, very fun. It's very repetitious, and if I wanted to be good at it, I feel like I'd be dragging my team down if I were to play it, right? Because you really need to be good at that game. You really need to have those skills. I love to watch the game, but I don't play games just because they're popular. It's like, you notice I'm not playing Apex Legends every single day just because it's a popular thing. I don't do that. I try to be very honest and straightforward with people. So that's the kind of the magic of my stream, I think. The magic of my stream is that you're going to get it straight up. You're going to get it straight up with no other thing. Any other tips? Yes, have lots of fun. I don't want to spoil anything for you. I don't want to spoil anything for you, all fuzzy nuts. Go out there and have some fun. Now, again, if you want to team up on the Xbox, I'll play with you on Thursday. Let's do it. Let's do it. Of course, remind me. You probably remind me via Discord, because I'm going to forget. Or mods, put that in my Kiss reminders. Let's play with El Fuzzy Nuts on Thursday. Free stuff for noobs, yarsh, please. Free stuff for newbies. Yeah, I like to give stuff for newbies. You know what I mean? You drop them some stem packs, especially some rataways. You know, drop some newbies, some rataways, maybe at the overseers where they first start, right? That's a real cool thing to do. I see a lot of people doing that too, by the way. I like how the fact that most of the a-holes, sorry, that's the way I'm just going to say it, left the game. And then, of course, you have all these really great people who are still in the game. People who are, love Fallout, who love the thing and are like, yeah, whatever. You got overblown. It got overblown, I thought. I don't think it should have taken as much of a beating, though there was some valid concerns there, server concerns and valid bugs and things like that. That's a valid concern. I mean, you got to address that. You got to validate that as a thing. There we go. Have that stash increase? I haven't played for over a month. Yeah, it's at 800 right now, but micromanaging it is really the key. Because again, you got 25,000 in Fallout 4. Here you've got 800. It's because of the limitations. If they just let people have 50,000 items in there, because you got to think these items also have durability, right? Durability is something else that they have to track, right? Like say you go into your weapons here. You got your condition, and there's a condition on literally, hundreds of items, and that could just drag the server down. Now, of course, there's other games that have no problem with that. There's other games that literally you could have thousands and thousands of items with no server issues. So I don't know what causes that server issue, or if they're just trying to make it where they're putting a very limited amount of supply or very limited amount of stuff that you can have on purpose to kind of slow the progression in the game. I don't know. I don't know what the true answer to that is, or the true idea. Well, I know what the solution is. You use bulking to fix the problem. But, and then, of course, allow you to reduce it by half. Now, of course, if you get 1,000 of something, say 1,000 steel, I think if you get 1,000, it should take the weight down to 25%. Right? And that's it. You solve the problem. You solve the problem. Like right now, if I could bulk all of that stuff like I've been talking about, I literally would have like 200 weight in my storage right now. I'd have 200 weight. If I could just shrink it down and bulk it, use the built-in system, bam, I'm good to go. And now I don't have 1,000 items. I have one item that's worth 1,000 steel, right? See, then it only has to track the one item. It doesn't have to track 800 items, right? That's just my thoughts, right? Just my random thoughts of, playing every single Fallout since the very beginning, since before people were born. That's just me throwing it out there. All right, everybody. Now, I'd love to play some more. I've only got so much time in the night. So we're going to go ahead and play some Astroneer. I'm very excited. We're going to be playing Planet 4. So if you are watching this in the future, though, I'm going to go ahead and make a cut here on my video on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. And hello from the past. And everybody from the chat says hello as well. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that bell right down below there. Leave a comment. Throw a like. Whatever you like to do. Whatever motivates you in life. Feel free to go ahead and do that here on my YouTube channel. I appreciate it big time. And, of course, watch for the next one. Coming right up, we're going to play some Astroneer. Hey, everybody. Kismet here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Also, check me out live on twitch.tv/Kismet. I'll see you all next time.